Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Sunday, April 27th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORIONNWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got some Sunday baseball here for you. The Miami Marlins versus the Seattle Mariners. We're trying to end up winning this particular series, going for our 6th straight consecutive series win. Lost bad in game number 1. Had an amazing game last night, winning 14-0 in game number 2. Can't wait to see what we get here this Sunday afternoon. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb. First pitch is going to be in roughly 4 minutes. Let's get it. Happy Sunday, everyone. And I got Talladega on one of my separate screens here as well. Big Bad Brad out the race, and hopefully we'll be able to get some of our favorites towards the front. Let's go, baby. And let's start it off with the thumb, and on the left, DHing stud Agustin Ramirez, and on the right, you know who it is. First pitch for a homer yesterday to set the tone, Julio Rodriguez. Now let's get into the starting lineups here for the visiting Miami Marlins. Leading off for the Marlins at shortstop, Xavier Edwards. Batting second, playing center field for Miami, Jesus Sanchez. Batting third, DHing for Miami, Agustin Ramirez. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, left fielder, Eric Wagaman. Batting fifth, playing right field, Kyle Stowers. Batting sixth, playing first base, Matt Mervis. Batting seventh, playing third base, Connor Norby. Batting eighth, catching today for the Marlins, Liam Hicks. And batting ninth, second baseman, Otto Lopez. And on the mound, the former number 3 pick in 2020 had 14 Ks in his last game, 2-2 record with an ERA of 2.10, one of their better pitchers on the Marlins, Max Meyer. Hopefully we'll be able to find a way to get it done against Max here today. Now let's get into the starting lineups for your Seattle Mariners. And they made a couple adjustments based on the initial starting lineup this morning. Rowdy Tellez got hit on the hand. He was in the lineup, but they decided to give him a scratch. And unfortunately, one of my favorite players, Ben Williamson, decided to get a rest day today. Was really hoping to see him at third, but we're going to end up having Solano and Rivas in the place of Tellez and Williamson. And hopefully that won't hurt us here today, because I would really love to see Big Ben hit, even if it's pinch hitting late in the game. Leading off for the Mariners in the new revised lineup, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. First pitch home run last night. Can he do it again? We'll find out. Batting second, DHing for the Mariners. First pitch home run right after Julio, Jorge Polanco, a guy that can hit 2 home runs in a game, and we've seen that very recently. Batting third, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. Tridents up. I'm ready for a homer today. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Batting fifth, playing right field, Luke Raley. Getting an opportunity to move from the 9 hole from the first time all the way up to the 6 hole, shortstop J.P. Crawford, who's been great for us as of late. Hot, hot, hot. Let's keep it that way. Batting seventh, playing first base, brought him over from the Padres. Ended up getting a hit yesterday. I believe it was only his 4th hit of the year. He's definitely been struggling mightily. He's 4 for 40. He's batting only 100, but hopefully, we can find a way for him to get a little bit better than what he has been. Donovan Solano. Still the worst player on the team. Let's not get it twisted. But, again, with all the injuries that we have to Bliss, Robles, Kirby, Gilbert, we have to be able to try to get some positive reinforcement. Batting eighth, playing third base for Ben Williamson today on a rest day. Miles Mastrobuoni. And batting ninth, one of the sleeper players on the Mariners that seems to always deliver offensive and defensively. Second baseman today, Leo Rivas. I hope I see a bunt laid down here today. And making his MLB debut from the AAA affiliate, the Tacoma Rainiers. And again, this is a cool thing because, again, when you have all these injuries, it allows for the farm guys to finally get a chance. We've seen what Ben Williamson can do. We saw a glimmer of Ryan Bliss this year and last year, as well as Tyler Locklear. Now we have one Logan go down and Logan Gilbert with an injury. And now we bring up another Logan. Welcome to the show, Logan Evans. I'm excited to see what he can do. Hopefully better than Emerson Hancock, not as bad as, Luis F. Castillo. And hopefully we can find a way to get the dub here today. Let's go, baby. I am ready. First in the box for Logan Evans is going to be Xavier Edwards, and hopefully he can start off on a fast note here. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We'll be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and 100 in the donos on every single stream. I bet. It's been a long weekend. Obviously with a lot of NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, MLB action, and obviously we got Talladega, my favorite track out of them all, here today. So it was a little bit of a tough decision for me to not do Talladega. I'm very committed to the Mariners and the Ducks, obviously, as you guys know, as well as my Buccaneers and doing a lot of NFL coverage. But there still is a chance, that we'll do a couple more races before the season ends. But I got to make sure we don't miss the debut here of Logan Evans. First pitch to Edwards, in play, and he grounded out to the pitcher. Throw to first. Got him, baby. I like that. One away. There we go. That a boy, Logan, starting off strong. Batting second, center fielder, Jesus Sanchez. Let's go, baby. 5 starts, 3.86 ERA for Logan Evans. So, again, we're not expecting, like the next, Felix Hernandez or like Randy Johnson. But, again, better than hopefully Luis F. Castillo, hopefully better than Emerson Hancock. And, again, we're going to have to really rely heavily on Luis Castillo, right? Brian Wu and Bryce Miller, as well as Emerson Hancock and Logan Evans. First pitch, takes a strike looking. That's a good sign from Evans to Sanchez. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, about a foot outside of the plate with the changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike from Evans to Sanchez. 1-1 pitch, 4-seam fastball in the zone, strike swinging. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Evans to Sanchez. I like it, baby. 1-2 pitch, and in play with the curve, and Sanchez grounds out to first. 2 away. Great start here for Logan Evans. Let's go, baby. And again, it's never too early, to be able to show that the youth movement for the Mariners is on the up and up. And remember, we were the #1 strikeout team in baseball for like 3, 4, 5 years in a row. We have a top 10 offense in the MLB. How do you go from being the #1 strikeout team to being a top 10 offense? Well, you're looking at it right now, and it's pretty exciting to see. Now we just need the pitching to get back to where it was. First pitch to Agustin Ramirez, low and away with the sinker, 1-0 count. But fantastic start here so far for Logan Evans. Let's go. In play on the 1-0 pitch. Back. See ya! And that's his first home run. Hopefully that's not the only one. We got to limit the damage. But again, Logan Evans, fresh from AAA, not exactly what you want to be able to see. See ya! 1-0 Marlins. Next up, left fielder Eric Wagaman. And hopefully, again, when you're, making your MLB debut, nerves are going to be high. So as long as we give up, hopefully 5 runs or less, and we can put up 5, we're going to have a good chance. 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits is the number. Normally it's 4 runs and 7 to 10 hits, but when you have a new guy making his MLB debut, or a guy that's shaky like Luis F. Castillo, or a guy like Emerson Hancock, you're going to need that extra run and maybe a couple extra hits, to make up for possibly a homer or 2 given up, or a couple bad innings. But hopefully that's the last home run he gives up here, but you never know. 1-0 count. Cutter right down the middle for the foul ball. Fading foul. 1 ball and 1 strike from Evans to Wagaman. Daniel in the building, what's good? Odin in the building, what's good? Sarah in the building, what's good? And I got Talladega on here as well. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitches a foot off the plate, low and away with the sweeper. 2 balls and 1 strike for Logan Evans to Eric Wagaman. Come on, Logan. Have that confidence. Don't get rattled by that home run. And at least it was only a solo dinger, not like a 2 or 3 run blast. So I'll take that. Pitches outside to Eric Wagaman. 3 balls and 1 strike from Evans to Wagaman. Come on, baby. Chiefs did get a duck. Quite a few ducks, going to pretty good teams. Chiefs, right, ended up getting one. Steelers got one. Buccaneers got one. So, they've been going to some pretty good squads. And now we finally get out of the inning. And, again, you don't want to give up too many home runs and whatnot. But, again, it is what it is. As we're looking at a caution there, it looks like in the Talladega race. And let's go to the bottom of the first inning. 1-0 Marlins. Leading off for the Mariners, who had a homer in his first pitch, overly aggressive, Julio Rodriguez. Batting second, DHing for the Mariners, who had a home run at his first pitch. Back-to-back homers has only been done 3 times in Mariner history, and one of them was last night. Can Jorge do it again? He's in the 2-hole. Let's find out. And batting third, a guy that I'm waiting for this tridents up moment, is big dumper Cal Raleigh. Obviously has been able to work 2 10-pitch count walks and got a double, but he hasn't gone yard in a few days, and obviously didn't go yard in Boston. So maybe today is the day we can get Cal to go yard. But on the flip side, we're going against Max Meyer. He might be the best pitcher on the Marlins. 2-2 record, ERA of 2.10. He was a first-round pick, number 3 overall in 2020, and his last game he had 14 Ks. So, again, the Mariners are hot right now as a top 10 hitting team, as I'm seeing a replay there at Talladega. But a pretty crazy stat, for the Mariners. We used to be like the number 1 strikeout team. We would always be batting, 200 to 220. We were kind of the laughing stock of the MLB. Everyone knew, we had this amazing pitching staff, right, with Gilbert and Kirby and Wu and Miller and Castillo. But again, not really being able to, hit on a consistent basis. But now, we're starting to show that we are the real deal Holyfield, and pretty crazy with the stat line. I want to be able to share this with you guys. And I ended up pulling this up. Believe it or not, Mariners offense, after being swept by the Giants, who are a playoff team this year, right? MLB ranks, batting average, 248 as a team, 9th. OBP, 3rd, 342. Slugging, 436, 4th. OPS, 778, 4th. Home runs, 28, 2nd. And runs, 99, 2nd. Record 12-5. That's 2nd in MLB. So it shows you, we can find a way to get shit done. As actually Julio gets out there, next up is going to be Jorge Polanco. Let's go, baby. But pretty wild to be able to see, the stats, going into our favor. Meyer to Polo outside, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, right down the middle, fouled off with the slider. Behind in the count, 0-2. Come on, Polo. It's awesome to be able to see us, doing so well in so many offensive categories after being such a laughing stock for so long. And Polo flies out to left, 2 away. Next up, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Max Meyer, 5 starts, 2-2 record, 2.10 ERA, 41 Ks to only 7 walks. So we might have to wait until Meyer goes out. First round pick, 3rd overall in 2020. He's solid. And but again, our bats have been coming alive. So I still think we have a good chance to get a couple, runs on him before he gets pulled. Hopefully an inning before he's supposed to go out. Typically pitchers go in the 6th. Hopefully we can rough him up and get him out in the 5th. Let's go, baby. Jacob in the building. What's good? Come on, Cal. Shout out to Eugenio Suarez, the former Mariner. 4 homers last night. And again, you're not going to see that too often. They lost the game 8-7 to the Braves, but you got to give love to Gino. And Cal, there it is, baby. My ESP is on point. What I tell you, I had a feeling, and my ESP ain't wrong that often. I bring up the photo, I tell you, and then 1 second later, boom shakalaka, see ya! Tied up, 1-1, Cal Raleigh, big dumper, tridents up. And again, when you watch this team as much as I do, right, I'm not going to be right about everything, but I usually have a pretty good vibe on how things are going to go. That torpedo bat is working, and nice job by Cal Raleigh. You couldn't homer, obviously, at the, the monster, there at Boston. We know the Green Monster is hard to hit homers off of. He had to pitch, he had to hit right-handed a lot because of guys like Crochet. And now with a right-hander, even though he's awesome, Max Meyer, not enough for big dumper Cal Raleigh. 1-1, Mariners and Marlins. Let's go. Next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. 2 balls and 1 strike from Meyer to Randy. Let's go, baby. 10th homer of the season by big dumper Cal Raleigh, baby. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. And again, when you know your team is as good as I do, I'm going to have those vibes. Awesome. And again, you knew that homer was coming at some point or another. Hopefully Rowdy Tellez doesn't have a broken hand, and we see Ben Williamson later on today. His stats have been magnificent. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. And Randy, 2-2 pitch, strikes out looking. And that's okay. You can't expect too much, especially against a good pitcher. But at least we tied up the game early, and we're knotted up at 1. So if you're just tuning in to the broadcast, obviously we have a guy that we just called up from AAA, Logan Evans. We just lost Logan Gilbert for a few weeks, to an injury. Gave up a solo dinger, early in the matchup to Agustin Ramirez. But again, we get it right back with a solo dinger from Cal Raleigh. End of the first inning, and we're knotted up at 1. I got Talladega on here as well, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic Sunday. We'll be doing Monday Night Raw tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday at home against the Angels. Thursday, we'll have the day off since I'll be spending time with family. And then on Friday, on my birthday, we're going to be starting up a series against the Rangers. And I'll be grinding it out on my birthday on Friday. Definitely excited about that matchup against Texas. We're trying to be able to get first place, stay in first place, and dominate the American League West. Let's go. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. One of the mods can help out with the likes and keep updated with that on the chat as well as the dono train. It would be greatly appreciated. Next up, right fielder Kyle Stowers. Batting second, first baseman Matt Mervis. And batting third baseman in the 7-hole, Connor Norby. And again, on the mound, fresh from the Tacoma Rainiers, making his MLB debut. Let's welcome to the show, Logan Evans. Let's go, baby. And if he can give up, 4 runs or less, we're going to win. And now if he gives up 5 or more, it's going to be harder, But again, we are, we're wheeling and dealing. And again, to be so good in so many different stat lines, I don't know if I ever would have imagined that we're a top 10 hitting team in baseball after being the number 1 strikeout team for the last 3, 4, 5 years. And then on top of that, the main reason is Ben Williamson. First 11 games in the majors, he changed this team dramatically, okay? He's batting .310, .356, .429, .789 in all the slashing categories. 13 hits, 2 doubles, 1 homer, 10 runs, 7 ribbies, 3 walks, 8 Ks. Again, the guy has probably the best chance for us to be able to be at 300 besides Polo. And again, if we didn't call him up with his defensive rocket of an arm as well as his offensive baseball IQ, we would not be in the position that we are right now. 1-1 count from Evans to Stowers. Let's go, Logan. Pitch right down the middle on a 1-1 pitch. Change up. That one is foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Evans to Stowers. Let's go, baby. Rex on Rex on Rex there at Talladega. My favorite track. All right, first pitch looking there to Mervis. 0-1 count. And we took care of Stowers, mowed him down. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Matt. Let's see what you got. We got 1K for Meyer, 1K for Evans so far. Let's go. Pitch is outside, fouled off with the changeup, behind in the count 0-2 from Evans to Mervis. Let's go, Logan. Pitch is low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Evans to Mervis. Top of the second with 1 out. We're knotted up at 1 with a solo dinger for the Marlins from Agustin Ramirez and a solo dinger by big dumper Cal Raleigh. Mervis strikes out swinging, baby. Bang! That's what I'm talking about. Nice job. 2 Ks already for our new stud out of AAA, Logan Evans. Let's go. Nice job. Welcome to the show, baby. You know, who knows how many Ks we're going to get, but we're going to need him to hold it down with Emerson Hancock, especially with Castillo, who was magnificent last night, Wu, and we need to get Bryce Miller up to speed. Next up, Connor Norby. And Norby grounds out to the shortstop, throw to first, got him. There we go, a very good inning there for Logan Evans after giving up that solo jack. I'm starting to like you. I like what I see. You look better than Emerson Hancock, as well as much better than Luis F. Castillo. Let's go, Logan. Exciting day. I know butterflies are flowing. Let's see who's up next here for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners in the 5-hole, right fielder Luke Raleigh. Batting in the 6-hole for the first time of the year because Tellez and Williamson were out of the lineup, so they modified it last minute. In the 6-hole, J.P. Crawford. And batting third, the former Padre, first baseman Donovan Solano. He's 4 for 40. Obviously got a hit last night. Worst player on our team. They don't even have any updated photos of him for the Mariners, which is unfortunate. But hopefully if he gets a few more hits, I'll be able to find at least a nice one that we can use in the Mariner uniform rather than the Padre uniform. But again, when you barely get to play and when you typically do, you suck. I don't know how many photographers are going to be looking at you for a photo, Donovan Solano. We got 2 laps to go here. Stenhouse, Hamlin. Stenhouse, Wallace. Larson, Hamlin, Ware. They're all going at it. Lots of movement. We've been able to see 4 wide there at Talladega. And again, 59 laps in. 2 to go for stage 1. Wallace, Stenhouse, Ware battling it out in the top 3. Wallace, Ware, Larson, Stenhouse, and I can't even go over the top 10 because there's so much movement. Chase in 6th place. Napa, no how, but now down to 7th. But I love Talladega because you're going to be able to get 3 wide and even 4 wide. Best track in my opinion in all of NASCAR. I love the Daytona 500. Don't get me wrong, but Talladega will give you more wrecks most of the time, and it gives you a lot of that top end speed. Love it. All right, baby, let's go. Nice to see Chase moving his way up there. Napa, no how. First pitch, 3 feet off the plate. 1-0 count from Mayer to Raleigh. One 0 pitch. About a foot off the plate. Strike swinging. 1 ball and 1 strike from Mayer to Raleigh. Come on, Luke. Drop the bunt down if you need to. Yeah, I know. We got that in common. And Larson wins stage 1. And again, I almost did this particular race. But again, when we end up having a brand new pitcher making his MLB debut and, we got rocked in game 1, came back and won 14-0 yesterday. I was hoping to see Ben Williamson, but, again, I'm always going to be committed to the teams on the stream. But again, there will be another NASCAR stream, I would assume, before the year is up. We did quite a few before the MLB season started, and Raleigh strikes out swinging, 1 away. But I'm going to watch them at the same time, especially when most races are going to be on around noon or 1, so I'll still keep up with coverage with that. Next up with the Mariners, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. You've been hot as of late. Let's see how you do in the 6-hole rather than being in the 9-hole. And then we got Rivas there, who's almost a clone of you, so I like our chances here today. Let's go, baby. First pitch fouled off. 0-1 count from Mayer to Crawford. Come on, baby. 0-1 pitch, 10 feet off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike with that changeup from Mayer to Crawford. Let's go, baby. All right, let's see where we're at now. We're at 11. We need 9 more likes to be able to. Now we go. We got a couple more. Thank you so much. And we need 7 more likes to hit 20 to hit the algorithm. If you're in the room and haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. It'll help us hit that number. Now, obviously, we're shooting for 100 in the donos on every live stream. Bottom of the second, 1-1. Ramirez and Big Dumper homers for each of their respective teams. JP Crawford on the 1-1 pitch, and he singles to center. Man, JP is hot. Let's go. Nice job, JP. Way to bring that electricity from the 9-hole to the 6-hole. It don't matter, baby. Now, if we could actually get that to rub off on this guy, first baseman Donovan Solano, the worst player on the team, 4 for 40 all year, only batting 100. And even if he can get on with a walk or a hit by pitch, we'll take it. First pitch at the head, inside, 1-0 count from Mayer to Solano. Come on, Solano. Go, Donovan, wake up. Pitch is high and away. 2 balls and no strike from Mayer to Solano. Two-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking with a slider. 2 balls and 1 strike from Mayer to Solano. I know Julio's going to be super popular and whatnot, but honestly, if I was going to see Seattle, I would be more excited to see Ben Williamson. This guy might end up being one of the best third basemen, not only, in our division, not only in the American League, but overall. And I have a feeling that he'll probably, be hitting 280, 290, 300 all year. And if there was anyone that, as we have Solano grounds out to third, throw to first, 2 away. If there's anyone that's going to be able to bat 300 for the whole season, besides Polo, I think it's going to be him. He's very good, and he's a defensive player, rocket arm at third, best defender in our infield, better than any first, second, shortstop, player that we have right now. Even guys like JP and Rivas, or even when Demo fills in, and then a guy that can, be able to pull the baseball, singles, doubles, triples, home runs. I haven't seen a farm guy like this in quite some time, and we still have another 10 that are in the farm. We're number 1 farm team. We got 2 or 3 pitchers down there, including Durangelo, who can pitch left and right, as well as a lot of guys in the infield and the outfield. Once we get the right mix, watch out. This team could definitely go on a deep, deep run. And I definitely feel we are a playoff team this year. Bottom of the second, 1-1 Marlins and Mariners. Mayer on the mound, Mastroboni in the box. 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike from Mayer to Mastroboni. Let's go, Miles. Change up on a 1-1 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike from Mayer to Mastroboni. Pitch is low and away. 3 balls and 1 strike to Miles Mastroboni. Come on, baby. Let's go. Bottom of the second, 1-1, Marlins and Mariners. We want our 6th consecutive series win. And again, after going to Boston and losing the first game, which is kind of our MO, and winning 2 and 3, and Mastroboni gains a walk. That was the first time that we beat Boston in the series in 11 years. Again, this team feels a little different. And to go from one of the worst hitting teams in baseball, number 1 strikeout team for 3, 4, 5 years in a row, and now we're like a top 10 hitting team. Pinch me, it's a dream. Next up, Leo Rivas. Now, the one bad thing that has happened to us since we have become a top 10 hitting team is injuries. We lost Bliss, we lost Robles, we don't have Logan Gilbert or George Kirby right now. So that's kind of tough. But again, we've had guys like Ben Williamson step up, and that made that absence of Victor Robles sting a little less. And we found our third baseman for the foreseeable future. Best guy we've had there since Eugenio Suarez, who actually had 4 homers last night, which was amazing. First pitch to Mayer to Rivas. Down and at the knees, strike swinging, 0-1 count. Let's go, Leo. Really like Leo Rivas, too. A very crafty player, good baseball IQ, works the count. Maybe he'll drop a bunt down, but not on this at-bat with 2 outs. Runners at first and second. 1-1 matchup between the Marlins and the Mariners, which is low and exactly in the same spot with that slider. 1 ball and 1 strike from Mayer to Rivas. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike from Mayer to Rivas. But again, right now, JP's in the 6 hole only for today because of the Tellez, last-minute substitution, as well as Ben Williamson. So, we're not going to typically see JP move too much in the lineup. But again, if you were going to swap someone in the 9 hole, other than JP, Rivas is the guy. He's very similar to JP. Obviously, not as hot as JP as of late in the last 2.5, 3 weeks, but a crafty hitter, that can get on with bunts, and work the count. If he has to get walked, he'll get walked. And again, may not be as clutch as JP as of late, but a little bit more of a trust factor than some of the other guys that they may consider there. 3 balls and 2 strikes as he takes a pitch there down on the line. Mayer to Rivas. Let's go. And Rivas with the walk, like I told y'all, have confidence. There's not going to be very many people that cover this team as deep as I do. I've been following this team for 40 years. So, there's no one else that's going to be grinding out streams for the Mariners like this. So, not going to be right 100% of the time, but I got a pretty good fucking pulse on this team. Just like that prediction with Cal homering today, and then 10 seconds later, he did. Next up, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Now, overly aggressive, probably the least trustworthy hitter that we have on the team. If we can just get him going and being a little bit more patient in the box, we already are a top 10 hitting team without him. But can you imagine if he actually gets hot? We could end up maybe even being as good as a top 5 or top 7 hitting team. Let's go, Julio. And we know we're going to be seeing him swing at first pitch strikes, but when you get in an 0-2 count, you typically get out 90% of the time. So, you swing at the first one, you miss, right? You foul off the second pitch, 0-2. Can you be able to be a good enough hitter to climb yourself out of that? And at this stage of his career, he can't, but hopefully he will one day. Come on, Julio, 2 outs. We got bases all loaded. Can we end up being a little bit more of a reliable hitter in this situation? Let's go, Julio. Trident's up. Come on, baby. Let's go. First pitch, there it is. Overly aggressive Julio. Single to right. Crawford scores. Masterboni scores. Rivas to second. 3-1 Mariners. And again, if you're going to be overly aggressive, make sure you have contact. I don't know if you'll ever use a torpedo bat. Cal and Randy are using them, but now Julio in back-to-back games making impact. That's what you're supposed to do as if one of the faces of the franchise. 3-1 Mariners. Nice fucking job. About damn time. Next up, Jorge Polanco takes a pitch outside on the line. Strike looking with a slider from Mayer to Polo. 0-1 count. Let's go. Way to bring that electricity early, baby. Trident's up. 3-1 M's, baby. Good contact there to get it out of the infield. Here we go. Polo in play. He's good for RBIs. Hot, hot, hot. He doubles to center. Rivas scores. Julio to third. 4-1 Mariners. And again, if we're going to be able to get production like this at the top of the order, and they're getting home runs on first pitch strikes right out of the gates yesterday, and then today RBI, 4-1 Mariners, and then Cal just hit a home run at his first at bat. Watch out. Mariners are cooking. Next up is big dumper, Cal Raleigh. 4-1 Mariners. Let's go. This is exactly what we want to see. We're trying to win our 6th straight series. We got, obviously, tomorrow off. We'll be doing Monday Night Raw live stream here tomorrow. And then we got the Angels for a rare 2-game set at home, which I know we can win. That one fouled off right there on the line, finding the count 0-2 from Mayer to Raleigh. Let's go, big dumper. You already got one home run. Can you do it again? You're using the torpedo bat. Let's go. But again, if he's overly aggressive and it works, fine. We're not going to be bitching and moaning, you know. But again, how many times have we seen him swing at garbage at the first pitch because the pitchers know how to pitch to him? Then he fouls off a really good pitch, right? And then you're 0-2. And then, you know, maybe he'll get to 2-2 once in a while. But a lot of times he's out within the first 3 to 4 pitches. And it's either a shitty pop-up, shitty ground out, or most of the time a strikeout in an 0-2 count. But luckily, in these last 2 games, he's starting to see the ball a little bit better. Pitches low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Mayer to Raleigh. 1-2 pitch. Fouled off, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Mayer to Raleigh. And Mayer is a former first-round pick, 3rd overall in 2020. Had 14 Ks in his last start. But guess what? You ain't getting 14 against us, baby. Hell no. Trident's up, baby. Let's go. Nat Man in the building. I got Talladega on. Pitches low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Mayer to big dumper. Let's go. Bottom of the second. Runners at second and third with 2 outs. 4-1 Mariners. Pitches outside on the line with the changeup. 89 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Mayer to big dumper. This is one of my favorite weekends. Talladega, baby. 2-2 record. ERA of 2.10. 14 Ks in his last start. But hey, the Mariners are a top 10 hitting team now. Who would have thought? It'll be scary to think once Logan Gilbert comes back. George Kirby finally makes his debut in 2025. Obviously, we got to see a little bit of Troy Taylor looking a little bit better in the pen. We're still waiting on Matt Brash. Like, once we get fucking healthy and then Robles comes back at the end of the year, man, we're going to have so many good players. We're not going to be able to play everyone. You know, it's not like we're going to have this Donovan Solano conundrum where we're like, oh, why are we playing this guy? There's not going to be any room, for players that are shitty. They're just going to be sitting on the bench or sent to AAA. So, sweeper fouled off. Right down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Mayer to Raleigh. And big dumper forced 2 10-pitch walks yesterday. I don't think I've ever seen that before out of a catcher. So he's starting to really work the count as well. Julio, take note. Sweeper fouled off. And we're already 8 pitches in to Cal Raleigh. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the cool thing about Cal is that he can be in an 0-2 count and force a walk and get to 10 pitches. Julio can't. And right now we're 2-2 count with 2 outs with 2 guys on, and he's on his 8th pitch. Cal, you're an animal. Keep grinding. I like guys that will grind out at-bats. It shows baseball IQ, intelligence, and that they're seeing the baseball. They're not thinking about having to hit a home run every time, even though they know they have the ability to do so. That's the difference between Cal and Julio. Cal is more, typically consistent. But it's nice to be able to see the guys at the top of the order raking. Julio, Polo, Cal. I mean, if those 3 guys are raking, how do you win? You don't. And Cal strikes out swinging, but got it to pitch number 10. The shit happens. Well, at least we ended up getting a few RBIs there by Julio and Polo. 4-1 Mariners. Trident's up. Let's go. Let's see who's up next here for the Marlins. Next up for the Marlins in the top of the third, catcher Liam Hicks. Batting second in the 9-hole, second baseman Otto Lopez. And back at the top of the order, 0-for-1, shortstop Xavier Edwards. Making his MLB debut, welcome to the show, from AAA, Tacoma Rainiers, Logan Evans. So far, so good. He's only given up 1 solo jack, and we got a 4-1 lead, and that's exactly what you want as a rookie pitcher, having that confidence that, okay, if I fuck up and I give up a couple homers, as long as they're not grand salamis or 3-run jacks, that, maybe I can actually still have the swag and the riz and the confidence to keep going and not to believe that I'm going to fail. And, again, with Logan Gilbert out, this new Logan is going to have to step up. All right, we're in stage 2 in Talladega, 51 to go. Alfredo, Suarez, Byron, Chastain, Cindric. You're not going to ever see Alfredo at the top ever again. Where's my boy Chase Elliott? Napa, no how. Come on now. believe I saw him in like 12th. Let's go, Chase. Judah in the building. Odin in the building. Natman in the building. What's good? Great start for the Mariners. We're about to win our 6th straight series, baby. I got to give Chase a photo. Come on, baby. I got to get that first win in 2025. Bowman Gray didn't count. It wasn't for points. But still, good for the confidence and the swagger. Lots of top 5 and top 10 finishes. But just like Ricky Bobby said, if you ain't first, you last. And that is the damn truth. Points can accumulate, but again, you need those dubs. And hopefully Chase will be able to get at least one, this season. But I'm hoping for 2. And I know some guys are going to win 3, 4, 5 or more. But it seems like it's pretty even this year in 2025 in the NASCAR Cup Series. Yeah, this is my favorite track. Again, I've been watching this track ever since I've been a little kid. And again, when you can get this type of top end speed and you have 3 wide and 4 wide regularly, you never know what's going to happen. So Anthony Alfredo out there up front, but again, that ain't going to last long. Not a regular driver on the circuit. So, all right, first pitch from Logan Evans to Liam Hicks outside, high and away with the sinker, 92 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Logan. How's everybody doing this Sunday? We got Monday Night Raw tomorrow. Angels and Mariners on Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, going to spend it with family. Friday, my birthday. We start the series against the Rangers. I will be working. And we don't take days off on the birthday, Thanksgiving, Christmas. We grind. And Evans just walked Hicks. Not a good start. Hicks first. Now we need a double play. Next up, second baseman Otto Lopez. I was prepping for the stream, and I've had both games on at the same time. First pitch, outside, takes a strike looking with the cutter from Evans to Lopez, 0-1 count. No, I did not see Christopher Bell. I saw Big Bad Brad. I see him on the screen now as he's getting interviewed, but I imagine I'll be able to see a replay here in a second. Pitch is outside, high and away. 0-2 count from Evans to Lopez. Pitch is low and away with the sweeper. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Evans to Lopez. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. And Lopez flies out to center, 1 away. Dane Myers is not playing. He's not in the lineup, if that's who you're talking about. Next up is Xavier Edwards. Lineup is Edwards, Sanchez, Ramirez, Wagaman, Stowers, Mervis, Norby, Hicks, and Lopez. Sack fly, 2 away. Next up is 0 for 1, Jesus Sanchez. Yeah, Sanchez is playing center. The Marlins have been moving players all over the place in this series. First pitch is high and outside with a 4-seam fastball, 1-0 count.
Oh my God.
Pitch is inside with the cutter fouled off from Logan Evans to Jesus Sanchez. 1 ball and 1 strike. here in the top of the third with a runner at second, 4-1 Mariners. We're definitely going to dominate this potential matchup as long as our bullpen doesn't really shit the bed, which it has in the past. But hopefully we can find a way. Let's go, baby. The Griffey Bobble is our good luck charm. We haven't lost that many games since we've did it, so let's go. Pitch is inside on a 1-1 pitch. Cutter, strike swinging. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Logan Evans to Jesus Sanchez. Let's go, baby. Let's get out of this inning unscathed. 44 to go in the NASCAR Cup Series there at Talladega. Chastain, Logano, Alfredo, Barry, and Dillon in your top 5. See Chase Elliott in 7th, baby. Love that. Curve, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Evans to Jesus Sanchez. Let's go, baby. 2-2 pitch. Cutter, low and at the knees. Fouled off by Sanchez. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Mariners. Let's go. Trident's up. Let's go. Top of the third. 4-1 Elms. Great production out of Julio, Polo, and Cal in the top 3 of the order. Let's keep it going, baby. Curved right down the middle, fouled off. Sanchez battling here. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at second with 2 outs. 4-1 Mariners in the top of the third. Let's go. Hopefully we get to see Ben Williamson get some action here today. I don't want to see him not play. Let's go, Logan. I like the little goggles that he's got going on as well. Sweeper, low and inside at the knees, fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. But just wild to think that the Mariners, after being swept by the Giants, who are a playoff team this year, were 9th in batting average, 3rd in OBP, 4th in slugging, 4th in OPS, 2nd in homers, 2nd in runs, and we're at the top in stolen bases and a few other categories. I mean, if you're going to be able to bunt, you're going to be able to steal bags, you're going to be able to slug, you're able to hit home runs. Again, it's crazy to think that, I mean, the lowest category is 9. Most of the categories were in the top 4. Like, how did we go from being the worst hitting team to a top 4 hitting team? But that's what you're seeing here. And Sanchez with that ball, he walks. Come on, Logan, settle in. Pacing fourth, I love that. All right, now we got runners at first and second for the Marlins after that walk by Evans. Settle in, Logan. It's all good, my guy. Next up, DHing Agustin Ramirez. And he had that solo jack early in the matchup, so we got to pitch him carefully here. You don't want him to go yard again, and then all of a sudden the game is tied, which, with a rookie pitcher making his MLB debut, it could happen. I don't think it will here, but let's go, baby. Shit, I would say probably somewhere between 35 and 45, but if he gets hot in 1 month, he might crack 50, especially with the torpedo bat. He's got one for the left side, and he's having one custom made for the right side. So again, it's a long year, and there might be a drought period, but if you end up having a month where you end up busting out like 20 homers, there's a chance where you might actually, get to like 50. And obviously if you look at his numbers since being called up as a catcher, he's number 1 in homers. Number 2 is like 20 to 30 behind him. So he is by far the best home run hitting catcher that we've seen in a long, long, long time. So pretty exciting to see, but he doesn't need to hit 50 homers for us to be able to be successful. But, he's always good for 30 to 35, but it feels like this year he'll get more. So maybe 35 to 45 is what I would predict. And if he gets hot in a month, he could get 50. I know that's kind of an insane thing to say, but that torpedo bat is working. Evans on the mound, Ramirez in the box. 1 ball and 2 strikes after that sweeper is low and away. Let's see if Evans can punch him out. But just wild that we're so good at stolen bags. At one point, we were the #1 team in stolen bases. We're in the top 2, top 4 in almost every offensive category except for 1, where we're 9th in batting average. And to go from, being a 200 to 220 hitting team, #1 strikeout team for the last 3, 4, 5 years to this, our pitching has gone down, but I guess, we'll take it, if we're going to be able to win games. Normally it's top 3 pitching, horrible hitting. Now we're top 4 hitting, but the pitching is kind of in the middle, maybe, like 15th or 16th, until we can get Logan Gilbert and George Kirby out there. So, it's kind of a give and take, but if you can get those bats going, you can sacrifice a little bit of your pitching, not too much though, And again, we need our bullpen to be strong, and when we can get Brash and Troy Taylor on the right page, and then we get Kirby to make his debut, and then Gilbert comes back, and then eventually 3 months down the road, Robles comes back. Who knows how many more farm guys are going to get called up. But again, if they're like Ben Williamson, we're going to start kicking ass and taking names. I mean, hell, we're already on the brink of winning our 6th straight series. I'm not saying that we're going to the World Series this year. That's way too premature. I'm not saying that we're going to make the fucking ALCS or the ALDS. Hell, I'm not even going to say that we're going to win the division. Texas definitely could. But if we continue this trend, there's a very good chance that we could win the AL West or get second as a wild card and possibly make a decent run, which is exciting if you're a Mariner fan. Pitches outside with the sweeper. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Evans to Ramirez. Absolutely. Look up his stats. I mean, you don't win the home run derby as many times as Ken Griffey Jr. did, if he didn't end up hitting monster homer seasons like that. And we're talking about the guy that's got the purest swing in professional baseball history. Probably the prettiest swing, especially coming from a lefty. But started off in 89 as a rookie with 16, then went in 22, 22, 27, 45, 40, 17, and then he started to get into his prime in 96, 49, 56, 56, 48, 40. And then the injuries hit when he went to the Reds. 22, 8, 13, 20, 35, 27, 30, 18, 19, and then came back to the Mariners and then retired. So... And obviously, he was one of those guys that ended up, doing it without steroids. Like, if you think of anyone that played in the 80s and 90s, he literally is the biggest name that never took PEDs and never took steroids. So, again, for these other guys like Sosa and McGuire and Barry Bonds, they fucking cheated. So, if those guys are getting 50, 60, 70 home runs, that's fake. Hell, if Griffey ended up taking steroids, he fucking probably would have hit 80 in a year. I don't think that would have been that crazy to think. And if Griffey, obviously his legacy would have been tarnished, but if he didn't have 10 healthy years and 10 unhealthy years, if he was just healthy with no steroids and PEDs, he would have been the home run leader, overall in baseball. I 100% believe that. Or even if he had 15 healthy years and 5 injury-prone years. But, for him to have, so high on the home run total, being in the top 6, top 7 with no steroids, no PEDs, and half of his career, 10 years of being injured, and he still ended up being 5th, 6th, 7th overall on the list in the home run battle when a lot of those other guys cheated. I think that kind of speaks for itself, and I'm proud that, out of all the baseball players that were out there in the 80s and 90s, thank God, I didn't end up rooting for one that cheated because that would have, broken me. Let's go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Mayer on the mound and Randy Arozarena in the box. First pitch is inside at the head with the sinker. 1-0 count. 4-1 Mariners in the bottom of the 3rd. Let's go. And with the 1-0 pitch, grounds out to second, throw to first, 1 away. Next up is Luke Raleigh. And not only that, we know that Griffey was one of the best Gold Glove, obviously, defenders, climbing walls, robbing home runs, and it's all about being a complete player. And that's why I really do love Ben Williamson. He's a complete player, defense and offense. It's one thing where guys can just hit or just defend, but if you can be elite at both, it really does take you into a whole nother category in baseball. Or if you can pitch and hit like Shohei Ohtani, right? It's like we haven't seen anything like this. He's literally the modern day Babe Ruth, and when it's all said and done, he might have stats better than Babe Ruth. Pretty wild to think of, especially when not being a American-born player, being full Japanese. 2 balls and 1 strike from Mayer to Raleigh. Obviously, we know with the gambling, conspiracy, I 100% believe that he was involved in it. But since he's the face of the franchise, they obviously, swept that under the rug. The interpreter, ended up going to jail for it. But to act like Shohei wasn't actually gambling, let's be real, he was. A lot of players gamble. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Mayer to Raleigh. 2-2 pitch and a changeup, strike swinging. Down goes Luke Raley, 2 away. Next up, 1 for 1 with a run, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Where are we at? Are we close to 20 yet? 5 more likes to 20. We got almost 30 in the room. Do your boy a solid and smash that like button so we can get into the algorithm. And obviously, we shoot for 100 in the donos on every single stream, but it takes literally 1 second to hit the like. YouTube will see that, and then we can get a recommendation and maybe get a few more people to come in here and watch the game. It's good for the stats. It's good for the algorithm. It's good for the channel. And you never know. We might end up getting another Fanatic member to sub to the account, which would be great. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking right down the pipe. 1 ball and 1 strike from Mayer to Crawford. 1-1 pitch with the changeup. Same location. Takes another strike looking. 1 ball and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. Let's go, baby. And I know we got a lot of international fans that are watching all over the globe. So some may or may not speak English, but I feel a lot of them are going to know what the like button is. So it doesn't take too much to do that. J.P. Crawford strikes out looking, and that is the end of the 3rd inning. But this is kind of how it breaks down for our audience. 75% of the audience is from the United States, no surprise. And then we have Canada, Dominican Republic, Mexico, Venezuela, Japan, South Korea, United Kingdom, Philippines, Taiwan, Australia, and many more. So kind of crazy to think that so many people from so many different countries watch this channel, on a regular basis. But again, I'm going to grind. I'm going to work hard. And I appreciate all the love and support that we're getting here. See who's up next here in the top of the 4th for the Marlins. Next up, 0 for 1 in the 4-hole, left fielder Eric Wagaman. Batting second, right fielder 0 for 1 with a K, Kyle Stalin. And batting third, first baseman 0 for 1 with a K, Matt Mervis. Let's take a look at what Logan Evans' stat line is here early in his MLB career. 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run. Obviously, for that 1 solo jack to Agustin Ramirez. 2 walks and 2 Ks. Not bad. His ERA is 3. And then let's look at Max Mayer on the opposite side, a guy that has a 2-2 record, ERA of 2.10, former first-round number 3 overall pick in 2020, had 14 Ks last game, but guess what? Not today. 3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks. So obviously he's got more Ks than Evans, but at this point, being up 4-1, I imagine Logan will take it. Let's go. Welcome to the show, Logan Evans. You my boy. Where are we at? We're 28 laps to go in stage 2 for the NASCAR Cup Series there at Talladega. First pitch to Wagaman, low and outside from Evans. 1-0 count. 4-1 Mariners. Let's go. 1-0 pitch. Fouled off with the cutter. 1 ball and 1 strike from Evans to Wagaman. Let's go, baby. How close are we now? We're one away from 20? There we go. We just got to 20. Thank you so much. Now we're in the algorithm and the metrics now. I'll see if we can get to 30 before the stream ends, unless we end up hitting that algorithm. Thank you so much. And anyone that's in the room, if you help us get to 30, then that can take us to that next level and that plateau. And down goes Wagaman. Bang! Foul ball, foul ball. Got him with a strike looking. Nice job by Logan Evans. Welcome to the show. Next up for the Marlins, right fielder, Kyle Stowers. We got Alfredo, Chastain, Barry, Gregson, Logano in your top five. Napa, no how. Chase Elliott now moving up into the fifth position over Logano. And then you got Ware, Van Gisbergen, and Priest. Last but not least, Bubba Wallace in 10th. Let's go. Love me some Talladega. My favorite track by far. Yeah, I remember because you told me. Yeah, I looked up the information and, obviously first round pick, third overall in 2020. I remember you telling me he had the 14 Ks. So I put that in the notes here today. And it's all about stats and analytics. So, anyone that can bring up information like that, which we typically see from people like Cole or Reflect or Judah, I appreciate it. Anything that I can add to the broadcast to give you the extra insider information based off the farm system, injuries, players on the other team that are beasting out, whether you're doing parlays or not, people, are going to be paying attention to what's going on. And, we want to make sure this is not just a one-sided stream like 99% of what streamers do, root for their team and talk shit about the other. We'll make sure we give love to the other team when they deserve it. So 2 balls and 2 strikes with that pitch inside at the knees. Curveball fouled off. And let's see if Evans can end up getting Wagaman. Let's go, babe. Bang. Yeah, I'm ready for the Angel series as well. We want to make sure we get out of this one first, though. Can't count our chickens before they hatch, but I like our chances of winning our 6th consecutive series. We're only playing 2 games against the Angels, which is a little rare. Normally it's 3 or 4, but, we'll take it. And hopefully we can end up beating them in both of those games. And, and then obviously we play the Rangers. And, next Friday on my birthday, that's going to be tough, but I wouldn't want it any other way. And it's Brian Wu on the mound on the birthday. So I couldn't ask for a better individual between him, Castillo, and Bryce. That's who I would want, to be able to watch. So first pitch right down the middle from Evans to Stowers. Fouled off with the curve. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees with the changeup. 1 ball strike from Evans to Stowers. Let's go. Got to get Kyle out. Go, Logan. But as we have seen, Logan Evans is a hell of a lot better than Emerson Hancock and Luis F. Castillo. So that's a real bright sign, considering we're not going to have Gilbert for a couple weeks and we might not have Kirby for another month. So in play, and Stowers flied out to left. There we go, 2 away. But it's just cool to see that we're a good defensive team. We're one of the best in Major League Baseball in stealing bags. We're bunting more. We're hitting off the charts. And really it came down to Ben Williamson getting called up. If we didn't call up Ben Williamson, I literally think that we would not be in this position. So sometimes it's bringing up a player that you may or may not think is ready, turns into a star, and we've been riding, his coattails ever since, and it's been rubbing off on all the other players. I mean, besides guys like Polo and Demo that have been hot from the very beginning of the year. We just need Julio and Cal to catch up. It sounds like they're starting to, and then we need good production out of the others like J.P. Crawford and Rivas and a few of the other, role players, and we are getting consistency finally. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning as we get out of that inning. Great job by Logan Evans. I love what I see. Let's see what we have up next here for the Mariners. Next up for Seattle, 0-for-1, first baseman Donovan Solano. If you end up getting some more hits, maybe we can find a photo of you not in a Padre uniform. Batting second, 0-for-0 with a run, base on ball, third baseman Miles Mastrobuoni. And batting third, a guy that I really love, filling in for JP in the 9-hole today, 0-for-0 with a run, base on ball, second baseman Leo Rivas. And if he gets up and there's not 2 outs, probably this will be an out. But if Miles can get on with a walk or a single, maybe we can get Leo to drop the bunt down. I love bunting because, again, pitchers, And third baseman and shortstop, they're not really conditioned to defend a bunt. They don't practice that. They don't work on that. And a lot of times they try to barehand it. It's a wild throw to first. And sometimes you can get a single. Sometimes you get a fucking double off a bunt. So it's a great thing to do when you're a great hitter, but it's also a great thing to do when you're slumping to kind of get you back on track. Like being a three-point shooter and getting a couple layups for your confidence. That's kind of what a bunt will do, for a baseball player. Facts. All right, baby. 4-1 Mariners. Let's go. Julio and Cal really haven't. Cal had that, period where he was super hot. First 3 games with the torpedo bat, homers, right? And then he ended up getting nothing in the 4th game, then went yard from the left side and the right side. But once we went to Boston, he kind of cooled down and didn't really do a whole lot. Yesterday, he did have 2 10-pitch walks, which was amazing, and a double. But I kind of had a feeling that, he was going to go yard today, and he did. And hopefully he'll go yard against the Angels and the Rangers, and then we can get him back to where he was, when he was in that little hot streak. But, with 10 homers already on the year, Cal may end up hitting 35, 40, 45, and who knows? If he has 20 home runs in a month in summer, he might actually get to 50. And again, if we can get good production, not out of Polo and Demo only, but then we're getting it out of Cal, we're getting it out of Julio, Randy, JP, Ben Williamson. Things are really looking on the up and up, let me tell you. Down goes Solano with a strikeout. No surprise there. This guy still should go down to AAA. We should bring up Tyler Locklear, better player. Next up, third baseman, Miles Mastrobuoni. Let's go, Miles. And Locklear's numbers in AAA in the farm are good. So I'm not really sure what they're waiting on. It might be a political decision because the money they spent on him to come over. But really, when it comes down to it, sometimes you have to admit and look in the mirror as a owner, GM, head coach, manager. We fucked up. We signed the wrong guy. This is not a fit here. And sometimes you have to make the hard decision on sending guys down. Now, when Scott Service was managing the team, first pitch from Mayer to Mastrobuoni, low and away, 1-0 count. He would keep guys on the roster and not send guys down to AAA, and we sucked, right? But now you're starting to see with Dan Wilson, even though he does make some odd decisions with pinch hitting and guys in the pen on how long they go or how short they go, he sends guys down immediately. And that's exactly what we need when we have the number 1 farm system with 10 guys that are going to get called up within the next 3 to 4 years. Some, even this year, like Ben Williamson. And we've seen how good Big Ben has been. He's been the difference maker. 2 balls and 1 strike from Mayer to Mastrobuoni. Let's go. Let's go, Miles. That one fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Mayer to Miles Mastrobuoni. 14 Ks in his last game. First round pick, number 3 overall in 2020. 2-2 record, 2.10 ERA. But guess what? Not today. Not today, baby. 17 to go in stage 2 in Talladega. 104 laps in. Logano up front. Pitches outside with the changeup. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count now is full from Mayer to Mastrobuoni. Let's go, Miles. Bottom of the 4th, 4-1 Mariners. Let's go. Still waiting on our first dono on our dono train. Let's go, baby. In play, and Mastrobuoni flies out to left, 2 away. Next up, a crafty hitter with a good baseball IQ, second baseman Leo Rivas. And I'm still kind of confused why Dylan Moore isn't playing every day. I feel that he's earned the right to play every day based off his production. And think about how many guys that could actually play second, short, third, left field, center field, right field. Literally the only 2 positions that Dylan can't play are catcher and first base. That's pretty amazing. And he's been a very good hitter for us and a pretty good damn defender as well. Find a way to get him in the lineup. Pitches low and outside. High and outside. 2-0 count from Mayer to Rivas. 2-0 pitch. Takes a strike, looking with a slider, low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Mayer to Rivas. Let's go, Leo. Four-seam fastball, low and at the knees. 3 balls and 1 strike from Mayer to Rivas. Take the walk here, Leo, if it's there. And there we go. Rivas taking my text message to heart. There's a walk. I love it. Nice job, Leo. Next up, a hitter that's been hot in the last 2 games. First pitch home run yesterday. Ended up getting a nice RBI here as well. Let's see what we can get out of Julio. 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. 4-1 Mariners. Let's go, Julio. Come on, baby. We need you. Trident's up. First pitch, takes the strikes, looking with a sweeper low and inside. 0-1 count from Mayer to Julio. 14 to go. Logano, Hocevar, Priest, Suarez, Gregson, Barry, Wallace, Reddick, Elliott, and Larson in your top 10. Let's go, Chase. Let's go, baby. Finish strong. Slider fouled off, low and inside. 0-2 count from Mayer to Julio. And remember, 0-2 counts for Julio. He might be one of the worst 0-2 hitters in baseball, not just on the Mariners. So let's see if we can climb out of this hole. (0-2) pitch, high and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Mayer to Julio. Bring that electricity, Julio. Pitch is low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes with the sweeper from Mayer to Julio Rodriguez. Come on, Julio. You got another home run in you? You got an RBI in you? I mean, hell, we don't even need you to hit home runs or swing like you're trying to take a moonshot every swing. You know, just getting on base will help the team out. Walks, bunts, just going for singles and pulling the baseball instead of just trying to go for moonshots. You got to adjust. Running game this season, stolen bases 35. We're 3rd in MLB. Attempts 47. We're 2. So we've been thrown out 12 times, but again, 35 stolen bags, number 3 in MLB, and that's a big reason why we're at where we're at right now. Change up. Low and at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Julio. I haven't seen him work a count like this in a minute, being in an 0-2 count. Slider inside. Fouled that one off. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Mayer to Julio. Come on, J-Rod. Nice to see Julio not chasing for once. As the Julio chants go here at T-Mobile. Come on, Julio. Let's do it at T-Mobile Park, baby. Let's go. Bottom of the 4th. 4-1 Mariners, and Julio gets a walk from an 0-2 count. This might be the first time he's done it all year. Nice job, dude. Again, it's not always trying to be the hero. You don't need to be a hero and try to play hero ball. Sometimes you just got to be patient. There you go. Next up, 1 for 2 with an RBI, Jorge Polanco. And if Polo hits a 3-run jack right here and we're up 7-1, how magnificent would that be? Hell, we'll even just take an RBI here. Hell, we'll even take just a single. Let's go, Polo. Penalty on Chase. That stinks. Automatic ball for a pitch timer violation on Mayer to Polo. I like that. 1-0 count. Pitches inside, low at the knees. 2-0 count from Mayer to Polo. Maybe we'll end up getting a walk here and we have bases loaded for Cal. And then we can get a grand salami, get the mustard and rye bread, baby. Bottom of the fourth, runners at first and second with 2 outs. 4-1 Mariners. Julio with an 0-2 count, somehow, some way, got on base with a walk. Congratulations. Takes a strike looking here to Polo. High and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Mayer to Polo. Let's go, Polo. 2-1 pitch. Low and away. Fouled that one off with the slider. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Mayer to Polo. Let's go, baby. Trident's up. Can't wait to get my mini trident from my friend when he drops it off, whenever that may be. Let's go, baby. Looking forward to Monday Night Raw tomorrow on the live stream since the Mariners have the day off. Angels on Tuesday and Wednesday, live stream on the channel. And then Thursday, day off to spend with family. And then Friday, birthday weekend, we go against the Rangers. Can't wait. Bottom of the fourth, runners at first and second with 2 outs. 4-1 Mariners. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jorge Polanco. In play. There we go. Nice job, Polo. Single to center. Rivas scored. Julio to second. 5-1 Mariners. Fuck yeah, baby. Let's go. We love that shit. Trident's up. Yes, sir. Next up, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Already got a solo jack to start the momentum in that Uncle Mo. Nice job by Polo. Staying hot as ever. Let's go, big dumper. First pitch is high and away with a sweeper. 0-1 count from Mayer to big dumper. Let's go, baby. Bring that electricity. Let's go. 0-1 pitch. Low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Mayer to big dumper. Let's go, Mariners. Trident's up. Great speed by Rivas. Great decision to have him in the 9-hole to move JP up since Tellez and Williamson were scratched last minute earlier this morning. And at some point they are, again, I was hoping that we'd get Meyer out by the 5th inning, and that might happen. Hell, depending on what happens here, he might be out in the 4th inning if we keep breaking. Like if Cal hits a 3-run jack here, he's going to be out in the 4th. But if not, and they get out of the inning, he might go 1 more inning. I mean, depending on how they feel and who they have in the pen. And Cal in play, and he grounds out to first, and we get out of the inning, but we don't get out, the Marlins don't get out unscathed. We end up getting a nice RBI by Polo. 5-1 Mariners. Let's go. What happens when you end up being a top 10 hitting team and in most categories top 4. Incredible. All right, see who's up next here for the Marlins. Next up for the Marlins, 0-for-1, third baseman Connor Norby. Batting second, 0-for-0 with a base on ball catcher Liam Hicks. And batting third, 0-for-1, second baseman Otto Lopez. We're going to the top of the 5th inning with a 5-1 lead. Let's go Mariners. Logan Evans, you're beasting. You gave up 1 solo jack in the 1st inning, and you've been flawless pretty much since. 4 innings pitched, 1 hit for a home run, 2 walks, 2 Ks, 2.25 ERA. This is exactly what we needed after Logan Gilbert went down, and now we bring up another Logan. Welcome to the show. Great job. We got 4 laps to go here in stage 2 at Talladega. Logano, Wallace, Hocevar, Cindric, and Reddick. Barry, Gilliland, Larson, Haley, and Priest in your top 10. Yeah, we'll find out. You already know you're going to get big wrecks at Talladega, and there might be a big one on the last lap, you know. First pitch to Norby from Evans is inside at the close to the head in the chest area with the sweeper, 1-0 count. Norby in the box and Logan Evans on the mound. Hell of an MLB debut. Let's go. Trident's up. And Norby singled to left. Next up is Liam Hicks. See if we can get a double play here. Let's go, M's. Trident's up. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. You haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Need a few more to get to 30. 5-1 Mariners. Runner at first with no outs. Let's go, baby. All that Soto mojo. I got a couple old school bobbleheads here right next to me with the Soto mojo. I got a Lou Piniella Soto mojo bobblehead from the late 90s, early 2000s. And I got a Brett Boone one as well, still in the box. First pitch from Evans to Hicks. Low and away with a strike looking with a sinker. 0-1 count. Southern downtown mojo, baby. Pitch is way outside, like 10 feet off the plate there. 2 balls and 1 strike from Logan Evans to Hicks. 2-1 pitch. Pitch is inside at the hips. 3 balls and 1 strike from Evans to Hicks. Come on, Logan, settle in. And stage 2 final lap looks like Bubba Wallace. Did he end up winning stage 2? It looks like he did. Nice job, Bubba, stage 2 winner. And Hicks with a walk. Now we have to be careful. This might be the time where you might have to consider, you're not going to pull him because we're up 5-1. But usually bad things happen when you're in the 5th inning, 1 inning prior to going out, and you have 2 guys on with no outs. A lot of times this is going to be when they put up 1 to 5 runs. You know, you're not usually able to shut it down when you got 2 guys on with no outs, but maybe the Mariners can play some good defense or get lucky here. Next up is Otto Lopez. But this would normally be the time that you pull a pitcher if you are tied or you're losing. You know, if you have a big lead, you can kind of, roll the dice and play with house money, so to speak. But that's usually the tall tale sign. 5th inning, no outs, runners at first and second. And we have to kind of see if he's going to start losing control or is it just those 2 batters and that's it. So. Yeah, it feels like, again, that we're going to make the playoffs this year, and honestly, I think we can win the division. Our pitching used to be top 3, and we used to be the worst hitting team in baseball, number 1 in strikeout. Now we're like a top 4 hitting team in baseball, and the pitching is kind of like in the middle, but we've had injuries, to Logan Gilbert. We haven't had Brash or Kirby yet, but wild pitch, and just like I said, now you got guys at 2nd and 3rd with no outs. I mean, I've watched this team to a T, so I know exactly when trouble is lurking. And again, now you have that wild pitch. And again, if you have a, kind of just a freebie where you're trying to get ahead of the count and they end up going for a 3-run jack, then all of a sudden that 5-1 lead goes to 5-4. And then the pen has to come in and to try to take care of business. So that's why if you ever see that scenario for your favorite team, understand that's when you typically got to pull the guy, regardless if you have a big lead. And there you go. You go from 5-1 now to 5-2. Like, they should put me on the staff. Seriously, I know exactly when things are going to hit that disaster point. And right there, we go from 5-1, you keep them in, and now it's 5-2. Brutal. Like I said, my ESP ain't going to be right 100% of the time, but if anyone's got a pulse in baseball, That's on YouTube. It's your boy. Brutal. I want us to keep the lead strong, but, again, as good as Logan Evans has done and they want him to go 6 innings, you might have to just pull him here, Sometimes you got to look past the pride, and trying to get him 6 innings in his first start. Sometimes you just have to trust your gut. And obviously Dan isn't the smartest manager in baseball. He's better than Scott Service, but they need analytical and statistical people on the staff to let them know, hey, we got to stop. Norby from third gets in. And I'm not surprised by that wild pitch that moved that guy over from second to third. Next up is Xavier Edwards at the top of the order. 2 balls and 1 strike from Evans to Edwards. Come on, Mariners, settle in. And we don't want this shit to go from 5-1 to 5-2 to 5-3 to 5-4. We want to actually fucking win this series. I do need to put up the Moose. Normally we put up the Moose when we're losing, but that's a good call. We do need to put up the Moose. Come on, baby. Find a way. Top of the 5th, 5-2 Mariners. Runner at second. 2 balls and 1 strike from Evans to Edwards. Come on, Logan. Crazy. Logan Evans, it was a 12th round selection. You're not going to see this type of talent in the 12th round that often. In play. And flied out to left. 2 away. Thank God. All right, next up, center fielder Jesus Sanchez. 0 for 1 with a base on ball. 5-2 Mariners with a runner at second with 2 outs. Try to get out of this inning with just 1 run coming in. He got injured. His first injury in his career. I mean, if you're on the channel every day, you'll be able to keep up with every single thing that's going on, with the Seattle Mariners. But he's on a 15-day injured list with a right elbow flexor strain. So that's why he got pulled. And my best friend was at the game with his dad. And so, for them to not only have that happen, and here we get out of the inning here as Sanchez strikes out, but Logan only pitched 3 innings. He got injured, left the game. They did an MRI later that night and in the morning. Then they realized what the injury was. But in that particular game, we had Casey Lawrence, who's a bullpen guy, come in and pitch 5 innings after. And I know you want to rest the pen once in a while, but that was probably one of the worst managed games I've ever seen. And we got absolutely obliterated in that first game. But 14-0 yesterday, we made up for it. And Logan Evans making his debut for Logan Gilbert. And he looks nice. And again, much better than Luis F. Castillo, who's terrible. Much better than Emerson Hancock. And, things are looking pretty bright. And Logan Evans might not even be the best farm pitcher. We got Durangelo that we drafted out of Mississippi State that can pitch left-handed and right-handed. Can you imagine when he ends up being like the number 5 guy in our rotation who can pitch left and right on any given day? And in between batters, he can switch it up. It's going to be like literally the most deadly piece in baseball once he gets going. He's a natural righty, but his lefty is very good. So again, if he can keep working on both hands, we're going to really have that X factor piece that no other team offers or has in MLB. Let's go, baby. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th. Nice job to get out of the inning, even though you gave up the 1. And you get a standing ovation from the crowd. Nice job, Logan Evans. You the man. We love you. Next up, 0 for 2 with a K, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Batting second, right fielder Luke Raleigh. And batting third, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Let's go, Mariners. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We're a few likes away from 30, and we're still waiting for our first show of support and love to the channel for our dono train. Bottom of the sixth, 5-2 Mariners. Bottom of the fifth. Don't want to get ahead of myself. Megan in the building. Good morning. First pitch to Randy Arozarena, high and outside, 1-0 count.
Oh my gosh.
Randy in the box, and they have Henriquez coming in as Mayor's day is done. Let's go, Randy. 1-0 pitch. Low and at the knees. Takes the strike swinging. 1 ball and 1 strike from Henriquez to Randy Arozarena. 1-1 pitch. Pitch is low and at the knees again. 2 balls and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. Come on, Randy. Go, baby. Great start. But it's not how you start, it's how you finish. In play with a sweeper, and Randy Arozarena singles to left. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Nice job, Randy. Next up, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks, right fielder Luke Raleigh. I wouldn't mind him dropping a bunt down right here. He did yesterday and got on. First pitch. Change up, low in the zone, takes the strike looking, 0-1 count. Henriquez on the mound, Raleigh in the box. 0-1 pitch, 4-seam fastball. At the knees, inside, 1 ball and 1 strike from Henriquez to Raleigh. Let's go. And we got 64 laps to go in Talladega, chasing first place right now. That's what I'm talking about. Napa, no how. Let's go, baby. 1-1 pitch, fouled off with the changeup. High and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Henriquez to Luke Raleigh. Come on, Luke. We want to win our 6th consecutive series, baby. Let's go. And the Boston one was really the key one because that was the first time that we won a series in Boston in 11 years. So it definitely feels a little bit different than it has in the past, especially with our hitters. That's facts. Sweeper fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Henriquez to Luke Raleigh. Come on, Luke. Yeah, Bush not really having a very good year. Again, it's been kind of ever since he left 18 in the M&Ms and had to join the new sponsorship and the new team, it hasn't really worked out for him. It's been pretty rough. Sweeper fouled off, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Henriquez to Raleigh. Yeah, starting off the year 3-7 to get to 15-12 and trying to get to first place. But again, we ended up starting it off with like the Tigers and the Giants, and both of those teams are probably going to be in the playoffs. So again, if we would have started off against the Marlins and the A's and been 7-1, 8-0, that doesn't mean that we were good. You know, you're just playing kind of shitty teams at the moment. So, you know, you got to be able to kind of let this season kind of progress. And it was just kind of an unlucky schedule start when you play the Tigers and Giants early on. But again, I still have the utmost confidence, you know, on this team being able to get first place in the AL West. Sweeper fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Henriquez to Raleigh. Let's go. 1-2 pitch. Change up. Way outside. Fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Henriquez to Raleigh. Let's go. That was really ultimately where this came from, right? When we were down 5-0, we busted this out for the first time, and when we ended up getting 7 runs in the last 2 innings, and we won 7-6, and that really started it off. And once we ended up winning that game and winning that Astros series, we took off. Then we swept the Rangers, and things have been looking pretty fucking nice ever since then, 100%. And sometimes you need that springboard win, that very, you know, moment where you all come together when everyone thinks you're going to lose, and you're down 5-0 in the 8th, and you have this miraculous comeback, and then you get your aura, your vibe, your swagger, your riz, and you get your Uncle Mo, your momentum back. And we haven't looked back since. And Randy Arozarena goes to second off a balk. Raleigh strikes out swinging. 1 away. Next up, shortstop, who's been hot the last 3 weeks. 1 for 2 with a run and a K. Shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Let's go, baby. First pitch, takes a strike looking with the changeup from Henriquez to Crawford. 0-1 count. And hopefully we can find a way to start winning game number 1, because it's kind of our MO. We lose game 1, whoever we play, and then we win game 2 and 3 when we have like a 3-game set. So if we can ever find a way to win game 1, you know, and we can start sweeping, you know, a few teams, you know, besides the Rangers that we did already, you know, we'll see where, you know, things will progress with our team. I mean, imagine if we end up sweeping the Angels in a 2-game set and then we sweep the Rangers, you know, or we sweep the Angels in 2 games and, or if we go 1-1 and then we win 2 out of 3. But again, you know, the Rangers, we know them, they know us, but, you know, I feel very confident against them. We don't fear them. 0-1 pitch. Pitch is inside at the hips. 4-seam fastball inside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Henriquez to Crawford. Here we go, baby. In play, back. See ya. J.P. Crawford. He is hot, baby. And just like that, 2-run blast, 7-2 Mariners. Woo! Let's go, baby. And you know, when you're getting production out of guys like Dylan Moore, Polo, J.P. Crawford, not just Julio and Cal, on top of bringing up Ben Williamson, this is a team fucking effort. And again, I haven't seen the bats be this good, maybe since like the early 2000s when we had that team that won, almost 120 games when Ichiro was a rookie. This is fucking incredible. Let's go. And next up is Miles Mastroboni, and boom, he gets a double. Let's go. JP, see ya. Miles Mastroboni with a double. Let's go. 7-2 Mariners, baby. Next up, second baseman, Leo Rivas. JP. GTP. I'm watching the Goldbergs right now, so it's all about the JTP, baby. Let's go. Solano with the double, not Mastroboni. Now Mastroboni up. Well, if with Solano is actually getting on board, things are going crazy. right? Like the guy only had 4 hits out of 40 at-bats, batting 100, and he got a hit yesterday. And what's the best time to get a hit after you get one when you're up 14-0? There you go. So now you're starting to see the universe, trying to even help out our shitty players. And in back-to-back games for the very first time, Solano getting a single and now a double. Nice job. Now maybe we'll have a Mariner photo of you. You're actually doing something. Next up, Miles Mastroboni. One ball and 2 strikes from Henriquez to Mastroboni. Let's go. Man, what a team this year. And again, we love to have like that great pitching. But again, even if you have great starters, if your bullpen blows it, it doesn't matter how good Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Brian Wu, Bryce Miller, and Luis Castillo do. That they can pitch 6 solid innings and give up a run or less, and then all of a sudden the pen comes in and stinks it up, and then you end up losing, 3-2 or 4-3. Then it's all that great pitching for nothing. So, even though the bullpen has been a little shaky, starters pitching have been injured. I don't think really shaky, just injured. But the bats have really come alive, and that's the difference this year. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at second in the bottom of the 5th. J.P. Crawford with a 2-run blast, 7-2 Mariners. Pitches low and at the knees. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Mastroboni. Let's see if he can force a walk here. Let's go. We got 55 laps to go at Talladega. Gibbs, Hamlin, Herbst, Wallace, and Briscoe in your top 5. Bottom of the 5th, 7-2 Mariners. Runner at second with 1 out. Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes from Henriquez to Mastroboni. I don't know where we are at the likes, if we can get an update on that. And we're still waiting for our first dono on our dono train. Almost 2 hours in, which is a little rare. Sweeper fouled off. Inside at the knees. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Mastroboni strikes out swinging. 2 away. It's okay, Miles. Next up, a crafty hitter in the 9-hole, filling in for JP based on Rowdy Tellez and Ben Williamson were supposed to play, but they were a last-minute scratch. Second baseman Leo Rivas. First pitch right down the middle with a foul ball. 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour from Henriquez. 0-1 count. Let's go, Leo. Appreciate it. Normally we don't go this deep, but again, all it takes is one person to start, and then we can go from there. Appreciate you. Stacks, Racks, Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Appreciate you. $2 holla. And I know sometimes people are looking around for someone else to get it started, but once one person does, then typically the next is shortly behind. Thank you so much, Stacks, with the little Racks and a Cactus Jack, bang, bang. That way I can take care of Paisley and just, pay the basic stuff to keep this going. Let me know what you guys want to do for photos. We're at 7:93 to go. Henriquez on the mound, Rivas in the box. 0-2 pitch, sweeper, low and half the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Henriquez to Rivas. There you go. Also remember, I'm working 7 days a week. I haven't taken a day off in a long, long fucking time. So, we're going to have a day off on Thursday where I'm going to, hang out with family, take my pup to, some family's property so Paisley can run free. So she's not really allowed to do that anywhere else. And Rivas strikes out swinging. End of the 5th inning, 7-2 Mariners with J.P. Crawford with a 2-run blast. That feels good. But I think I'm going to do have a cheat meal for the birthday celebration. Ribs, corn, mashed potatoes, or not mashed potatoes, but potato salad, mac salad, and then maybe some cheesecake for dessert. So looking forward to that. And then, again, birthday, we'll be grinding it out for Mariners and Rangers with Brian Wu on the mound on Friday. So I'm excited about that, and hopefully we'll get a birthday win. Let's see who's up next here in the top of the sixth for the Marlins. Next up for the Marlins, DHing had a solo blast in the first, 1 for 2 with a run RBI, DHing Agustin Ramirez. Batting second, 0 for 2 in the four-hole, left fielder Eric Wagaman. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a K, right fielder Kyle Stowers. And let's see who they're bringing in for a pitcher. Is Logan going to still go back out there? He's only had 78 pitches, so it looks like he may come back out. Let's go, M's. Got you. Got you. Top of the 6, 7-2 Mariners, baby. Let's go. Tyler Warren, let's go. Like Dallas Clark all over again, and maybe even better, which is kind of a frightening thing to think about. It'd be just like Brock Bowers, Sam Laporta. Can't wait to see what he does. Going to make the team a hell of a lot better. Now we got Colin Snyder into the game. First pitch, takes a strike looking with the cutter, 0-1 count. Second pitch about 10 feet off the plate with the sweeper, 1 ball and 1 strike from Snyder to Ramirez. 1-1 pitch, four-seam fastball inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes from Snyder to Ramirez. Let's go, Snyder. Do a good job, baby. Pitches outside with the sweeper. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Snyder to Ramirez. And we know how good Polo has been for us. It's been a real fun thing to see him develop and to be, one of the most reliable hitters, not only just on the Mariners or in the American League, but like overall. It's awesome. Considering how shitty he was for our team last year with Garver, and now he's like, one of our heroes, like for real. Fouled off on that sweeper. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Snyder to Ramirez. We get a couple photos in here for Sarah and Captain. Appreciate you. And Ramirez homers to left. 7-3 Mariners. But again, that wasn't on Logan Evans, so, And that's the second home run of the day. 1 off Logan Evans, 1 off Colin Snyder. Agustin Ramirez tried to be like Polo. Okay. Since I brought the Polo photos up, he did his best impersonation. 2 homers in a game. Okay. I see you. Next up, left fielder Eric Wagaman. And hopefully that's the last home run that we give up the rest of the night. Top of the 6, 7-3 Mariners. Come on, Snyder. Our bullpen is so, it's not really reliable. Gabe Spire, Andres Munoz, that's about it. In play, and Wagaman flied out to center. Julio is there, 1 away. Next up, right fielder Kyle Stowers, 0 for 2 with a K. And Ramirez with a second deck smash right there. Third home run of the year. 2 in this game. Come on, Colin, damn it. In play, Stowers grounds out to first. 2 away. Next up for the Marlins, first baseman 0 for 2 with a K, Matt Mervis. And Ramirez crushed the fuck out of that baseball. First pitch from Mervis, fouled off. High and tight in the zone, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, about 5 feet off the plate with a sweeper. 1 ball and 1 strike from Snyder to Mervis. It's like you don't want to, have your starter, do all these amazing things and have the bullpen guy come in and just fuck up everything. But that's typically what happens in baseball, not just for the Mariners, but for every team. You can have a good outing with your starter or a shitty outing, but then usually the bullpen is, much worse. And then you just have to hope that at least one guy out of the 3 or 4 that's in the pen can do good. And then you can, keep the bats going. So that way, if you give up a few, you can still gain a few. And then obviously if you have a good closer like we do, we can find a way. Mervis singles to left. Snyder, you stink. Fucking A, man. All these motherfuckers in the pen stink except for Gabe and Munoz. Next up, 1 for 2 with a run, third baseman Connor Norby. Should have never spent the money on Donovan Solano and used that money to get a really nice pen guy or grab a starter from another team and put him in the pen. Why don't we do that? Stop spending money, trying to get all of these hitters that can't hit in Seattle. We can get guys in our farm that can do that, but just be going for free agent pitchers, and even if they're starters on other teams, just move them in the pen. And then we can have a super team of starters and pen guys. Why hasn't anyone figured that out? Imagine having 9 pitchers and all of them could end up being, starters or pen guys because they're that good. Obviously, you can have specialists that can, like Munoz as a closer, and you can have guys like Gabe that can pitch 1 or 2 innings, even though they only have him pitch 5 pitches and then they pull him, which is stupid since he's our best guy in the pen as not being our closer. I want some more reliable guys in the fucking pen. And I know everyone would agree with that. And a single by Norby. Are we just opening the game up for them to come back? Runners at first and third with 2 outs. Jesus Christ. Next up is Liam Hicks. Colin Snyder, you're a bum. Come on, Colin. It could be worse, when we, have a few other guys that are even more unreliable, like Trent Thornton. But I can't wait for the time and day where we have more guys like Brash. We have Troy Taylor, right? Gabe Spire, Munoz, where we only really play those 4 guys and we don't have to worry about all these Bizzardos and Colin Snyders and Trent Thornton and Taylor Sauciedos that might do good for a little bit, but typically fuck up and let the other team come back in the game. Come on, Mariners. Yeah, Gabe's not good enough to be a starter, though. And plus, we already have other guys. But could you imagine if he was a starter? Oh, he would be awesome. I'm not sure if he, obviously once you're in the pen, you're in the pen. But, yeah. Imagine if Munoz and Gabe had the ability to be more than just a bullpen guy or closer. Munoz could be like a Felix Hernandez kind of a pitcher, even though he's a closer. We know that it'll never happen, but, he gives you that same type of feeling where you have that confidence, right? And then Gabe, again, how many lefties do we have? Barely any. And Gabe is definitely the best that we have as we see him in the pen, warming up. And Hicks grounds out in second with runners at first and third stranded, thank God. And we get out of the inning. Not fully unscathed, but we're still up 7-3. So here we go. Yeah, but we can't afford for Gabe to be a starter because that's the only guy that we have in the pen that's good. You know, he's literally the only one. So, you know, can't have all good starters and then we're left with Pizzardos and Colin Snyders and Trent Thorntons. Then all that big lead that we worked hard for would just disappear in like an inning or two. All right, let's see what's up next year for the Mariners. Next up in the bottom of the sixth, 1 for 2, 2 RBIs, base on ball. Homer on the first pitch yesterday. Nice to see him coming around. Julio Rodriguez batting second, 2 for 3, DHing, 2 RBIs, Jorge Polanco. And batting third, I told y'all he would go yard today, and he did. Tried ends up, 1 for 3, run RBI and K, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go Mariners. I mean, if we had the luxury, you know, to do that. But I think really the main thing that we need to be excited about, Captain, is Durangelo. Because Durangelo is a one of one. There's nobody in MLB right now that pitches left-handed and right-handed. And when he comes up, he'll be the fifth guy in the rotation, which means someone, you know, depending on injuries, you know, and what we have going on, obviously with Hancock, and now we have Logan Evans, but someone's got to go down, you know, when Durangelo ends up taking the spot. But, you know, imagine having Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Brian Wu, Bryce Miller, or Luis Castillo, and Durangelo pitching left-handed and right-handed, on top of all the other guys in the farm, Felnin Celestin, Harry Ford, Cole Young, Colt Emerson, Lazaro Montez. You've seen how good Ben Williamson is. Imagine adding 3 or 4 more bats and defense to that, which means like some guys might be the odd man out, you know, based on our lineup. Like you might not see Solano or Rivas or Mastroboni or Raleigh, but if those guys are better, we're going to end up having a fucking super team pretty soon, you know, and that's why things are looking very bright, you know, for the Mariners, not only for this year, but for our future. So first pitch from Arias to Julio, low and inside with a slider, 1-0 count, 7-3 Mariners. But again, I've never seen our farm system this deep, and I've been watching this team for 40 years. So you got to think, we've got a number 1 farm system. We're actually a top 4 hitting team now. Now we're injured, so our pitching is a little suspect at times, but the new guys that we've been able to bring up have been good for the most part, besides Luis F. Castillo and Hancock in his first start. So, and once we can get Kirby healthy, Gilbert healthy, and Brash healthy in the pen, watch out. Bottom of the 6th, 7-3 M's. 2 balls and 1 strike from Arias to Julio. Go Julio. In play for Julio. And popped out to the shortstop, 1 away. Next up, DHing for Seattle, Jorge Polanco. 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. He is a stud. Polo's batting average, 368. Julio almost at 200, 198. Cal Raleigh, 234. Randy, 206. Raleigh, 206. Those guys need to improve dramatically. JP Crawford, 277, who's been very hot in the last 3 weeks. Solano, 116. Mastroboni, 238. Rivas, 318. And then not only that, you got guys like Ben Williamson are hovering around 300. That's a lot better than having everyone batting 100 or 200 like in the last 5 years. Like we actually have guys that are at 300 or close to 300. So that's really the difference. Great to see as a top 4 hitting team in MLB. Let's go Polo. Bottom of the 6th, 7-3 Mariners. 1 ball and 1 strike from Arias to Polo. 1-1 pitch, fouled off right down the pipe with a slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Arias to Polo. Let's go, baby. Polo with 2 homers last night. The stud. Guy's almost batting 400. And we're 27 games into the season. He peaked at 450. But consistency is king, baby. And Polo hit by pitch. Hopefully he's okay right there as he goes to first. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Captain says we're only 3 away from 30. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get into the algorithm. Next up is Big Dumper Cal Raleigh. First pitch is outside with a slider, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch on a four-seam fastball fouled off. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. Predicted that you would go yard today. You did. Trident's up. Keep it going. And we got 31 laps to go here at Talladega, my favorite track at NASCAR Cup Series. Gibbs, Hamlin, Herbst, Wallace, Logano. Your top 5, Briscoe, Smith, Stenhouse, Custer, and Gilliland in your top 10. Where the hell is Chase Elliott? Nowhere to be found. Come on, Chase. Splitter fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh.
Oh my gosh.
Man, I can't wait to get this miniature Trident, man. And big swing and a miss. Down goes Cal. 2 away. Next up, Randy Arozarena. 1 for 3 with a run and a K. Let's go, Randy. First pitch, strike looking, 4-seam fastball right down the pipe, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, takes a strike swinging, big swing and a miss, behind in the count 0-2 from Arias to Randy Arozarena. And strike 3, down goes Randy Arozarena, end of the 6th inning, 7-3 Mariners. Let's see who's up next here for the Marlins. Next up for the Marlins, 0 for 2 with an RBI, second baseman Otto Lopez. Back at the top of the order, 0 for 2, shortstop Xavier Edwards. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K, center fielder Jesus Sanchez. Let's go Mariners, Trident's up. Gibbs, Hamlin, Herbst, Wallace, Briscoe in your top 5, Logano, Smith, Custer, Dillon, and Stenhouse in your top 10. That'd be Ty Gibbs' first win in his career, if he does hang on. But there's way too many laps to go, to hang on from 28 out. We might end up having 1 or 2 more big wrecks before it's all said and done, and it could end up extending and going into overtime. So we will see, especially when a track that can go 3 wide or 4 wide. I mean, if it was more like a short track and it's hard to pass, then, maybe, but again, with this type of track and, because you watch a lot of racing and F1, even though it's different than NASCAR Cup Series, but especially this track. It's known for, you're going to have issues with tires. You're going to have issues with fuel. You're going to have issues with, obviously guys being too close, side drafting. You're going to end up having it go 3 wide or 4 wide at certain points in the race. And then there's going to be overly aggressive drivers trying to be able to prove a point, late in the matchup. And, it happens throughout the whole day. Daytona is one thing, but, Talladega, to me, it's my favorite. It always has been, and you never know what you're going to get. And I feel like the prestige of winning Talladega, is the same as Daytona. Daytona 500, might be more popular because it's like the Super Bowl of NASCAR. It's like the biggest name. But anyone that really watches NASCAR knows that I feel you get a little bit more excitement. And even though the prestige might be one level below, like this is like winning the NFC Championship game. Daytona might be like winning, like the Super Bowl or going to the Super Bowl, something of that nature. So it's like one peg below, like AFC Championship game, NFC Championship game. But think about this. When you end up watching AFC, NFC Championship games, they end up being more fun to watch and more memorable sometimes than even the Super Bowl. Like the games usually end up being better. And that's why I feel like Dega is kind of like that, where you might actually have a better race than the Daytona 500 sometimes, even though I love both. But I'm a little biased towards this track. All right, we got Xavier Edwards here next up. 0-2 count. Spire in the game, the Pat McAfee lookalike. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Gabe. Top of the 7th with a runner at first. 7-3 Mariners. This is our best pen guy, and hopefully he can find a way. And we don't have too many lefties that we could trust. Definitely can't trust Taylor Saucedo. He got sent down, but he did good yesterday. But we had to make room for Logan Evans on the roster. Top of the 7th, runner at first. Let's get a double play or just fucking smoke his ass. He did give up a home run, the last time, that his first home run of the season. But again, most of the time, Gabe is lights out. Edwards flies out to right. 1 away. Yeah, we already know Stenhouse got the moniker Spin House. He don't give a fuck. Next up for the Marlins, 0-2 with a base on ball and a K. Center fielder Jesus Sanchez. Top of the 7th, runner at first, 1 out. Mariners up by 4, 7-3 M's. Trident's up. First pitch, low and away from Spire to Sanchez, 0-1 count. Let's go, Gabe. Pitch is low and at the knees. Outside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Spire to Sanchez. Four-seam fastball, strike looking at the top of the zone. High and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Spire to Sanchez. I don't like, it's like, and there we go, strike looking, got him. Like, they only use Gabe because they almost use it as a disadvantage because he's a lefty, and they're just trying to play the matchups. Like, how about you just let Gabe be Gabe and be the best, guy we have in the pen, instead of trying to, overanalyze and overthink that he can only get certain guys out. When you're fucking good, you're good. You're going to get out anybody. You think they ever did that with Randy Johnson or, guys like that? Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe he can only get guys that are, batting right-handed. Maybe we need to take him out if he goes against lefties. Sometimes I think it's like paralysis by analysis. And, depending on who you have in the, organization, sometimes people need to speak up, I hate it when they end up, having guys pinch hit where it's like, oh, lefty on lefty, that can't work. Let's take Polo out and bring in Garver. Make it make sense. And sometimes it works, but a lot of times it doesn't. Really, you just want to have the best hitter up, instead of just bringing in a cold hitter just because he's right-handed, because the percentages say it's going to work. Fuck out of here with that. Top of the 7th, runner at first with 2 outs. And then we have Agustin Ramirez trying to pull off his Eugenio Suarez type of game. Now, Suarez last night had 4 homers. Ramirez has 2, and we definitely don't want him to get to 3. And there we go. Strikes him out swinging. Bang! Down goes Ramirez. We love that. 2 away. Next up, left fielder Eric Wagaman. Let's go, Gabe. And Gabe, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Great inning for Gabe Spire. See ya. Goodbye, Ramirez. Nice punch out. Nice electricity there. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Got a 4-run lead. Let's get some more insurance, baby. And I ain't talking Geico. Next up, for the Mariners, 0 for 3, 3 Ks. Maybe he'll drop down the bunt. You got safe last night with the bunt. Do it again. Don't be afraid. Just because you're known as more of a Nuke Raleigh home run hitter doesn't mean that you can throw him off and drop a bunt down and be safe. You did it yesterday. Do it here and you'll get on base. Promise you that. Batting second, 2 for 3, 2 runs, 2 RBIs and a K. Shortstop JP Crawford. And obviously we saw him with a 2-run blast. He's the man. And batting third, 1 for 3 and a K. A guy that went 4 for 40, batting only 100, but he got a hit yesterday when we were up 14-0. Guess what? Got another hit today. Can he do it again? Donovan Solano. Let's go Mariners. One more like to 30. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. You haven't smashed that like button yet. Get us to 30. So that way we can get to like 35 to 40 before the game ends. And we're 19 laps to go. Priest and Barry battling it out for first. Barry, Priest, Dillon, Logano, Bush, Smith, Custer, Gregson, Larson, and Allmendinger. This might be one of the first Talladegas where you don't really have a lot of the popular drivers in the top 10. Now, the race isn't over yet, and a couple guys ended up having some bad luck. You know, obviously Big Bad Brad Keselowski early on. It sounds like Christopher Bell, Kyle Busch. Some of these guys, it wasn't really pretty for them. And obviously Chase Elliott, he's in 13th, but nowhere near the front where I was hoping that at some point, you know, you're going to be able to get on track. It's one thing to be consistent with top 10 and top 5s, but let's be real. If you ain't first, you're last. Ricky Bobby said it, and I believe it. 7-3 M's. Let's go, baby. We're at 7:93 to go. And what a great MLB debut. Standing ovation from the crowd. 6 innings, 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 Ks, 3.60 ERA. And we're going to need it since Logan Gilbert's out for a few weeks. And it could even be longer than that. But from one Logan to another, awesome job. Much better than Luis F. Castillo. And hell, I like him more than Emerson Hancock. That's saying something. And then they got the whole family there. First pitch from Arias to Raleigh. Low and away. Fouled off with the splitter. 0-1 count. $17 laps to go there at Talladega. Now we're getting some of the vets towards the front now. Cindric, Byron, Larson, Bowman, Elliott. That's what I'm talking about. Bush all the way up to 7th. What a recovery from earlier today. You know, at some point you're going to have, you know, like the no-name guys, you know, at the top. But eventually, you know, depending on that last pit stop or how, you know, the race starts to evolve, you get the more popular big-name drivers at the end. And now we have the ones that I was hoping for. Cindric, Byron, Larson, Bowman, Elliott. Let's go. Hendrick Motorsports in the top 5, baby. All 4 drivers in the top 5. I love it. In play for Luke Raley. Let's go. And Raley hit by a pitch. We'll take it. Raley first. Next up, 2-run blast, 2 for 3 today. JP Crawford. Arias hitting our guys. Not on purpose, though. First pitch is inside to J.P. Crawford, 1-0 count. One more like to 30. Who's it going to be? There's someone in the room that hasn't done it. There it is. Appreciate you. Now we're at 30. Everything from here is just gravy. See if we can get to 35 before the stream ends. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and no strike from Arias to J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. You got another homer in you or RBI? Let's go, baby. Pitch is outside. 3-0 count. Take the walk. Let's go, baby. A lot of guys have the green light with a 3-0 count, but if you're that all over the place, 1 inside and 2 outside, there's no way he's going to get 3 strikes in a row, especially if he's hit 2 of our guys already. Strike looking at the top of the zone, 3 balls and 1 strike to J.P. Crawford. Bottom of the 7th, runner at first, no outs. 7-3 Mariner lead. And a walk for J.P. Crawford. You know, my Esp is strong, baby. Let's go. Nice job, J.P. Mariner Moose fucking loves it. Next up, our worst player on the team doesn't even have the ability to get any Mariner photos because the photographers don't really take pictures of him. But maybe after yesterday and today, we'll have one. 1 for 3 with a K, Donovan Solano. Would like to see Tyler Locklear get called up and him sent down. But in the last 2 games, he's able to, get hits. And coming into the game yesterday was like 4 for 40. So that's a good sign when your worst player on the team is starting to connect. And again, with injuries to Bliss, Robles, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Troy Taylor, and some of them are getting ready to come back, and some have come back. And Troy Taylor, we're still not 100%, but we are a top 4 hitting team in baseball, which is insane. Considering we were the worst team hitting for the last 3 to 4 years, number 1 in strikeouts, not anymore. And this is the evolution of the Seattle Mariners. Ben Williamson changed this team. Facts. 1 ball and 1 strike from Arias to Solano. 1-1 pitch, fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Arias to Donovan Solano. 7-3 Mariners, runners at first and second. Let's go, Donovan. You're the worst player on the team, but hell, at this point, we can't be booing you or talking shit. We just have to pray that you can actually be a semi-okay hitter. Not good enough to be on this team, but, do your best, and hopefully you can help the team get some RBIs. And we don't expect you to hit any home runs, but at least it's not strikeouts and little dribblers, which is pretty much every at-bat that he had for the first 40. Like, I don't even think I saw him hit a ball into the outfield in that 40 at-bats. That's how shitty it's been. But last 2 games, yesterday and today, he's gotten a hit. Let's see if he can get another one. 1-2 pitch, in play, and flied out. But at least he got it to the outfield. That's a first. 1 away. Maybe his confidence is slowly coming back. Next up, 0 for 2 with a run, base on ball and a K. Third baseman filling in for Ben Williamson on a rest day, Miles Mastroboni. Let's go, Miles. Appreciate that, Stuart. First pitch outside from Arias to Mastroboni, 1-0 count. And again, once the baseball community starts to see that the Mariners are actually a good team and that we could win the AL West and be a playoff team, there's going to be more bandwagon, Mariner fans, fair weather Mariner fans that will be tuning in. And you're going to get more people doing parlays for the Mariners. And there's going to be also more outsiders that maybe aren't really Mariner fans, but want to see what we're about. And we'll definitely get a spike in viewership for sure. MLB home run leaders this season, Eugenio Suarez and Cal Raleigh at the top with 10. Who would have thought that? Corbin Carroll, Mike Trout, and Tyler Soderstrom with 9. Former Mariner and a current Mariner. And one of them is a catcher. Like, let's be real. And for all those people that were talking shit that Cal wasn't good, he's proving that not only is he the best catcher in baseball, but you disrespected him last year. You didn't have him in the All-Star game. He wasn't even a fucking reserve. You didn't even have him in your top 10 catchers. And at the end of the year, he was number one, based off fans and voters for the most part. So now he's got to be able to use that torpedo bat and, not leave any doubts to anyone that he by far is the best home run hitting catcher, but defensive catcher and a clutch hitter as well. I know there's guys like Adley Rutschman and Will Smith and Salvador Perez and JT Realmuto, but I wouldn't want anybody besides Cal. I've been on board since we brought him up, and it's great to see his evolution. 3-2 count. Count now is full from Arias to Mastrobuoni. Come on, Miles. Mastrobuoni lined out to left, 2 away. Next up, 0 for 1. 2 runs, 2 base on balls, and a K. Leo Rivas. Let's go, Leo. First pitch is high and outside. 0-1 count. Okay, Paisley, I'll get you some food here in a second. Paisley's giving me the little whimper that she wants lunch. And it's crazy. I actually did a before photo and an after photo when I took her to the vet. And, they were saying that, she could lose 10 to 15 pounds. They usually like this particular breed around 55 pounds. But again, I walk my dog a lot more than most people. I'm walking 5 miles a day, 7 days a week. So she's, muscular at 70. But again, I want her to be healthy. And in just 1 month and 1 week, I've already got her down 5 to 10 pounds already. So she's definitely looking a little bit slimmer and healthier. Obviously that means I have to give her less food and less snacks, which I don't like, but I want her to live a healthy life. And I was shocked when I did the side-by-side on how much weight she's already lost in just a month. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Arias to Rivas. I know, honey. I'm almost done. We got 6 laps to go here at Talladega. Larson is up front with Priest. Oh my. Chase moved down to 10th. I know, honey. Give me a second. We're almost out of this inning. And there we go. And Rivas flies out to left. End of the 7th inning. Let's go to the top of the 8th, and I got to give some lunch to my baby. I'll be right back. Let's go, M's.
Oh my gosh.
All right, 3 laps to go for Talladega. Priest and Cindric battling it out with Larson, Byron, and Logano. Might have a huge wreck here right at their end. And we're up 7-3 in the top of the 8th. First pitch to Wagaman from Trent Thornton. Don't fuck this up, Trent. Takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. Yeah, like I said, I thought that Paisley's metabolism with me walking her 5 miles a day, but again, she kept whining like at night after I would give her food, and I'd give her a little food and then she'd whine. I'd give her a little bit more because I thought she was hungry, but she was just taking advantage of daddy, knowing that I would give her extra. But now, after figuring out like the exact amount that I can give her, and no matter what she says, I just have to be strong and, just tell her, wait till tomorrow. And she argued with me for a little bit in like the first couple weeks, but then she got into the routine. And 2 laps to go here. Cindric up front at Talladega. 0-2 count, and pitches outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Thornton to Wagaman. But I was really shocked to see how much that she could lose if I gave her less food. Stuck to a schedule, and then I have to give her less blueberries and strawberries, and it's worked. So I got a side-by-side, or I got photos that I can show. But, if you're dedicated and you know how to be able to monitor things the right way, especially when they give you the puppy eyes, it's hard to ignore, but you have to be strong. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Thornton to Wagaman. And we're at the final lap here. Priest and Cindric battling it out, but Byron and Larson are right behind them. And someone is going to make a dumb move at some point, and we might have a big wreck. But are we going to get someone winning Talladega for the very first time? Pitches outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Thornton to Wagaman. Final lap. Oh, my goodness. What's going to happen here at Talladega? Final lap. That pitch fouled off. Count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Austin Cindric, unofficially, is the winner. Let's look. Wow. By about half of a car length. Wow. Cindric with the win. Priest was close. Larson and Byron tried to make it happen. Throw to first is safe. Congratulations, Austin Cindric. Wow. Elliott finished in 7th, so I guess that's better than I was anticipating, but if you ain't first, you're last. Cindric, baby. Wagaman with a single, even though he threw it to first. Next up is Kyle Stowers. First pitch fouled off. 0-1 count from Thornton to Stowers. 0-1 pitch. Fouled off again. Behind in the count now 0-2. Yeah, I was a little shocked there. I almost was for sure that we were going to get 1 or 2 wrecks, or maybe even a wreck on that last lap, but no one really decided to, be like Ricky Stenhouse or, someone trying to force their way to, a top 5 or top 10 finish. They actually kind of raced with with purpose, but respectfully. But a lot of times you don't see them race respectfully at the end. It's just fuck you, I'm going to go for it, right? And, if that would have happened, then we probably would have had a different winner. In play, and Stowers single to center, Wagaman to second. Trent Thornton, you're garbage. You're the worst pitcher on the fucking staff. You need to go to AAA, my guy. You suck. We thought Colin Snyder sucked, but this is the worst guy on the team as far as bullpen, considering all the other guys that we already set down, like Sauce and a few others. But if we win this, we're in first place, baby. I mean, we're already tied for first with the Rangers right now, but you suck, Trent. Yeah, well, wait till next week, and then Ricky will probably do one then. Next up is Matt Mervis. Pitches low and at the knees, 1-0 count. And now you got guys at first and second with no outs. Pull him. That's the tall tale sign when a guy doesn't got it. You know, you got first and second with no outs. Now almost guaranteed they're going to get at least a run. And if you keep them in too long, it's going to be 7-4, 7-5, 7-6, 7-7, and who knows what could happen at that point. Like, you know, there's certain strategies in baseball that you would think that these managers would understand, but apparently not. And every once in a while, you can get bailed out when you have first and second no outs, or even bases loaded no outs. But do we really want to test the sports gods? Fuck no. Pitches low, and that one's fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Thornton Mervis. Curve fouled off outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Thornton to Mervis. I mean, it would be great if we could end up getting a double play here, but I don't know. The chances of that happening is probably very slim. Trent, you suck, bro. And he's already given up like 4 homers this year in the pen. Like, how many home runs do you need to give up? How many blown opportunities do you need to give up? They got Munoz warming up. Now count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's like, great, bring Munoz in when there's fucking bases loaded, no outs. But you could have prevented this if you would have pulled him already. Oh, he's not ready yet. A guy like that is going to be a starter. They've already said that they're going to try to make him into like the, 5th guy in the rotation to start off, kind of like when we had Brian Wu when we brought him up. So he's not going to be a pen guy. They're going to use him as a right-handed pitcher, but then he'll be able to pitch left, occasionally based on situation and whatnot. So Durangelo won't be a pen guy. He'll actually be a starter when we bring him up. And it's going to be like the biggest X factor on any baseball team in MLB. No one else has got a guy like that. And if anyone was to get developed by pitchers, it's fucking our team. 3-2 count, fouled off. Come on, Thornton. 7-3 Mariners. Runners at first and second with no outs. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And depending on if he gets this guy out or not, we might have to bring Munoz in. And thank God, Mervis strikes out swinging. Holy hell. 1 away. Thank God. Down goes Matt. Next up, third baseman, Connor Norby. Get this guy out. Nice slider there by Thornton. He at least did something nice. Now we got runners at first and second in the top of the 8th, and we're up by 4. Come on. Come on, baby. In play. And just like that, what did I say? What did I say? You keep a guy in too long, and then boom! He ends up hitting a 3-run bomb. Trent Thornton is the worst player in the pen. That's like his 5th fucking home run that he's given up. Send him to AAA. He sucks. Like, if you don't send him down after today, I don't know what you're doing. He is by far the worst guy from the beginning of the year. He's given up 5 fucking home runs. And he's almost pressing us to lose every single time. And just like that, when you have a 7-3 lead, goodbye, now 7-6. That's always the golden rule. First and second with no outs, you leave a guy in too long, then that fucking happens. I still believe that we can win this game, but just like that, you fucked us. And again, Trent Thornton has no business being in the major leagues, period. Idiot. Next up, Liam Hicks in play. And Julio is there, 2 away. Next up, second baseman Otto Lopez. Jesus Christ, man. It's like, imagine if the Mariners only had 4 runs or 5 runs right now. The game would be over and we lost. So thank God we were able to get to 7. That was our saving grace. But again, I just don't understand the strategy from Dan Wilson. I get it. You try to make everyone happy. But when you're a manager, get fucking real. You can't make everyone happy. And if a guy's given up 4 or 5 homers and we're only 27 games in, pull the motherfucker, send him down to AAA. Idiot. And Lopez flies out to right. And we're going to the bottom of the 8th inning. Let's see if we can get some insurance. We're going to need at least a run, maybe, but maybe more than that. Holy hell. Trent Thornton, you fucking idiot. I don't want to see this photo or your face ever again. You suck. Terrible. All right, Moose. I like that face. Let's see who's up next here for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 3, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Batting second, 2 for 3, 2 RBIs, Jorge Polanco. And batting third with a solo jack early in the matchup, 1 for 4 with a run, RBI, and 2 Ks, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And again, these 3 guys have been hot. Hopefully we can get at least 1 more run to help us. I mean, we could still win 7-6, but hell, if you end up having bad pitching like that, your lead can get erased in a matter of seconds. So we will be bringing in Andres Munoz. And again, most of the time, Munoz is lights out. But every once in a while, maybe one time out of every 5 to 10 opportunities, he's wild with his pitches, and then we end up losing and blowing the save. So hopefully we can find a way to win this, even if it's only 7-6. Bro, Trent Thornton. That's the worst guy in the pen, and we've been sending guys down like Sauce and a few others. He literally has the most home runs given up. I don't know by any bullpen pitcher in MLB, but it's like his 4th or 5th homer he's given up, and he's almost put us in a position to lose every time he pitches. And he just gave up a 3-run blast. We had runners at first and second with no outs, and then if you don't end up pulling a guy right there, bad things happen. And next guy up, boom, after a strikeout, 3-run jack. And imagine if we only had 4 or 5 runs. We would have lost right there. So
Oh my God.
he sucks, man. He is by far the worst guy in the pen. And in the past, he was kind of like mid. He was average. He definitely wasn't the worst, but he wasn't the best either. But now, instead of being middle of the bullpen guys, he is dead last. And I don't even know how he still has a roster spot. I would have already sent him down like a month ago. But, I mean, bring a farm guy up, I better see, tonight or tomorrow morning, Trent Thornton gets sent down to AAA, and they bring up another farm guy. 2 balls and 1 strike from Phillips to Julio. I mean, I want to have a victory walk with Paisley. I don't want to have a fucking loss after dominating the whole fucking game. And we want to make sure we're winning 6 series in a row. We don't want to just play like shit there at the end and lose. But we got Julio, Polo, and Cal to help us here. Can't believe that happened. I can believe it happened because Thornton stinks. In play, and Julio lines out to left, 1 away. Down goes J-Rod. Next up, DHing Jorge Polanco. Let's go, Polo. You've been great all season long. He's the last one that we should have sent down like a month ago. But after sending so many guys down, you have to have at least some guys there. But I don't know why they keep keeping him on the roster. He was the only guy that gave up multiple home runs when he came into the pen, and now he's already up to like 4 or 5 home runs with 27 games in the season. I mean, at this pace, he's going to be giving up like the most in MLB, maybe breaking a record. Phillips to Polo, that one fouled off, behind in the count now 0-2 from Phillips to Jorge Polanco. We need some Geico, State Farm, Progressive, USAA. Take any kind of fucking insurance here. Fouled off. with the change up there. Behind the count 0-2 from Phillips to Polo. Keep grinding, Polo. Polo, another foul ball. Still behind the count 0-2. Come on, Jorge. I mean, again, if our bats, weren't as good as they are in 2025, I can't even imagine what our record would be right now. We probably would only have like 4 or 5 wins. We'd be like the goddamn Colorado Rockies. In play. There we go. The hit machine, Jorge Polanco, doubled the right. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Stand-up double by our best hitter in 2025. You know who it is. Some people call him Polo, and we're not talking Ralph Lauren. Jorge Polanco, my boy. Next up, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. First pitch low and at the knees. 1-0 count with the curve. 1-0 count from Phillips to Cal. Let's go. Let's get some insurance here, Cal. Already had a home run early in the matchup that I predicted, but, I don't expect him to hit a home run here, but that would be amazing if he were. We've won 12 out of the last 17 games. We're hot, hot, hot. 12-5. Fourth in slugging is ridiculous. In play. And flight out to right. 2 away. Matt in the building. What's good, brother? And next up, 1 for 4 with a run and 2 Ks. Randy Arozarena. Come on, Randy. We would love for you to get an RBI here. Yeah, even just getting it to 8-6 would be huge. I mean, I trust Munoz, but you just never know. Munoz hits the first guy, walks the second guy, and then you have guys at first and second with no outs, and you're only up a run. You're preparing for disaster at that point. So we want to try to get some insurance here. First pitch inside, fouled off, 0-1 count. Mariners hanging on by a 1-run lead after Trent Thornton being an idiot, giving up a 3-run blast. 4 or 5 home runs he's given up from the pen, which has got to be top in the league, for being a shitty bullpen guy. 0-1 pitch. Pitch is outside. Sweeper way off the plate. And he got baited there. Check swing. Behind in the count now 0-2. Come on, Randy. Focus. Fans don't like that. They start to boo. Pitch right down the middle. Fouled off with the sweeper. Count remains 0-2.
Oh my gosh.
Come on, baby. Low and inside. Curveball fouled off. Behind the count 0-2. Come on, Randy. Go, Randy. Bottom of the 8th. Runner at second. 2 outs. 1-run lead. 7-6. Late in the matchup. He's grinding out this at bat. Come on, Randy. And there we go. Got him. That's what I'm talking about. All right, now we got Andres Munoz, but hey, we can't be too cocky. Now, we know Munoz is lights out, but remember, 1 out of every 5 to 10, appearances, sometimes he's off, where he's really wild, wild pitch. walks a guy, hits a guy, and then all of a sudden we're fucked. So we got to hope that this is the good Munoz, which is normally like 80% of the time, not the bad Munoz. So again, we only have a 1-run lead. So I feel confident, but again, it's not a for sure thing every time with Munoz. Even if he is one of the best closers in baseball, even the best closers can fuck up from time to time. Same thing even with Gabe, being one of the best, bullpen guys. He can still fuck up from time to time. So every once in a while, a guy will get lucky and, hit something right down the pipe. Let's see who's up next year for the Marlins, and hopefully we can find a 7-6 win. That's what we need. Leading off at the top of the order, shortstop, 0 for 2. No. 0 for 3, Xavier Edwards. Batting second, 0 for 3 with a base on ball and 2 Ks, Jesus Sanchez. And then the guy that we have to worry about, where we might have to intentionally walk, 2 for 4 with 2 runs, 2 RBIs, and a K. He's got 2 homers today, Agustin Ramirez. Hopefully, again, we don't want it to come down to like Edwards striking out, Sanchez getting walked, and then all of a sudden Ramirez comes up and hits a 2-run blast, and then all of a sudden we're down 8-7 going into the bottom of the ninth. And again, if we just would have not played Trent Thornton, we wouldn't be in this fucking position. Let's go Andres. Let's get this dub. Top of the ninth, Mariners up by 1 run. We want to be able to win our 6th straight consecutive series. We're one of the hottest teams in baseball. Let's keep it going. Let's go Munoz. Let's go, baby. First pitch to Edwards, low and away. Takes a strike looking. 0-1 count. Munoz, 4-seam fastball right down the pipe, behind the count 0-2. I like this start. Munoz bringing the heat. This is the good Munoz, because when Munoz is bad, he'll throw usually 3-4 balls right out of the gate. You might end up having a wild pitch, or he hits the guy. So as long as we can get as close to an 0-2 count, got him. There we go. Strike looking. 3 pitches. See you later. Thank God this is the good Munoz. There we go. Way to bring that electricity. Baby, 1 away. Next up, center fielder Jesus Sanchez. We got to worry about him and Ramirez. Top of the ninth, 1 out, 7-6 Mariner lead. And now we got to go to Jesus Sanchez and obviously Ramirez with 2 home runs today. Right on the corner for that punch out. Nice job by Munoz. First pitch, takes a strike swinging low and at the knees, getting Sanchez to swing and bait on a bad pitch. 0-1 count. Munoz is cooking. He knows that Trent Thornton fucked us. So now we got to be able to make up for it. Let's go. Bring that electricity, Munoz, and I like what I'm seeing. Rangers losing. Oh, it's a great day. In play. And grounded out to second. Throw to first. 2 away. All right. Now this is where it goes. Who's got the biggest balls, right? And again, it's about ego and whatnot. But be careful, because if you try to throw right down the pipe 3 times to Ramirez, he might go yard. He already has 2 homers today, so let's not get too cocky here. Let's pitch to him inside, outside, nothing right down the pipe. And if you're going to throw it right down the pipe, make sure you're only doing it like 1 pitch out of 3. You have to be selective here. First pitch outside with the slider, 1-0 count. See, Munoz knows. You don't want to be a Trent Thornton. You want to be an Andres Munoz. Feel me? Let's go. Pitches inside, just like I mentioned, outside, inside. That's what he did. But now it's a 2-0 count from Munoz to Ramirez. Agustin Ramirez, 2 home runs here today. Pitches low and inside in the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike from Munoz to Ramirez. Smoke his ass. Come on, baby. Top of the ninth, 2 outs, 1-run lead, 7-6 Mariners. We were up 7-3, but Thornton came in and gave up a 3-run blast like a moron. And now Munoz is trying to clean it up. 2-1 count from Munoz to Ramirez. Come on, Mariners. I want this to be our 6th consecutive series win. In play. And grounded out to second. Yes! And that is it. Final score, Seattle Mariners 7, Miami Marlins 6. Woo! Let's go. Great performance by Munoz there. Fantastic. Can't believe we won 6 series in a row, but we're a top 4 hitting team in baseball. Who would have thought? How do you go from being last in baseball at hitting and number 1 in strikeouts to being the top 4 hitting team in baseball? I don't know, but we're fucking doing it right now. And when the Mariners win, what do? We fucking dance. Mariners win. Mariners win. Mariners win. Final score, Mariners 7, Marlins 6. And that's our 6th consecutive series win. And we have a day off tomorrow. We're going to do Monday Night Raw here on the channel. And then we have a 2-game set on Tuesday and Wednesday against the Angels. Let's beat the fuck out of them. And then we got a 3-game set starting on my birthday on Friday against the Texas Rangers. Let's fucking go. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Great win. And a great job by Logan Evans. Welcome to the show. And you end up getting a win in your MLB debut. Hell yeah. Love that. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. I got to eat some lunch, and I got to take Paisley for a long, long walk. Enjoy you guys rest of your weekend. We'll be live for Monday Night Raw tomorrow at 5 o'clock Pacific on Netflix. And I got one question for you. Who you know talks sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Final score, Mariners 7, Marlins 6, and I am out. Tridents up. Go Mariners.